Welcome to another edition of Strum and Scribe with Sir Garroton and Lord Pinky.
Shit. Don't drink all
We are recording, Joe. We are recording.
Okay, welcome.
Drink, everything.
Hello. A special, well, I don't know how special he is, but
How special are
we've
you?
got a third one.
Not awfully
Third, what's the third? Oh, third party member.
Yeah.
Third party member. This is D&D.
Well, also the third recording, I believe, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
That's creepy that you know that since it hasn't been out yet.
Well, I asked.
Okay.
You need to,
simple.
you're going to need to get up in that.
Well,
you
I was
probably
going to
don't.
ask.
And how do I sound?
Muffly.
Turn
Yeah,
me down
why
a
don't
bit.
you
Turn me down a bit.
Yeah.
why don't you
There
quit
we go.
sucking on
Okay.
it?
Well, see, last time I wasn't loud enough.
True, yes. But,
My,
and I can't guarantee you.
uh-oh.
There we go.
What's that?
Now it's actually recording all the different tracks to my SD card,
Oh,
whereas
there you
this is recording everything in a way, in a way that's hard to edit.
Oh, okay.
This is
Perfect.
a terrible introduction, but
That's why we have editing.
this is Strum and Scribe,
This
but
is-
hopefully you don't need me to tell you that because we'll have a French woman telling you that.
You guys just
You
got to
would-
go with the
Don't
flow,
point
man.
at me when you say that.
You will have already heard her voice,
Oh,
which is actually
yes.
Joe speaking as he tweaks his nipples.
Nice.
That is true.
Nice.
For
Did
some
that
reason.
about an hour ago in the ball pit.
Oh,
the ball pit.
is that what her
We've
name
got
is?
a ball pit.
Okay, you do sound muffly for some reason.
Do I really?
Yeah. Why?
Muffly.
Yeah. Try talking farther away
Okay, let me get back a bit.
so that we can't hear you at all.
We should have tested this. Maybe we'll start
That
over.
sounds better,
Is
actually.
that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because a condenser mic, I don't
Why are
think
you so worried about like fumbles and
I guess I'm
Blooper.
not.
Because
don't worry about it.
I don't
Okay.
think a
It's
condenser
authentic.
This
mic.
new guy here thinks he knows everything.
He
It's
probably-
authentic, man.
Okay.
Doesn't need to be clean.
Okay. Hey, by the way, I'm outnumbered here. I got two people from St. Louis in my
Oh,
upstairs.
really?
Yeah.
Both of them.
Where'd you go to high school?
I was homeschooled.
Ah,
That is so funny. I talked to somebody from St. Louis
they asked
last
where you
week.
go to high school.
No, everybody asked, where the hell did you go to high school?
No, you only ask St. Louis people.
No.
Do you?
I know that.
Yeah.
That's what she was saying.
Right.
Everybody wants to know where you went to high school.
And we don't actually care. It's just a joke.
Is it?
Is it a joke?
Yeah,
Because it's bad high school. It's all bad education there, right?
well, it's all about.
Well, that explains a few
No,
things.
it's just a question you ask other St. Louisans.
It's kind of like, where'd you eat barbecue?
Okay, yeah,
Where did you
Maybe.
eat
maybe.
barbecue?
I don't
What's
know.
your favorite barbecue or something?
Yeah.
Maybe I guess.
I don't know. We don't have.
It's
local
just
rules in
a
Kansas City.
very. It's the intro question to ask
Okay.
fellow St. Louisan.
That's news to me. I've been here since
2000?
2000, but yeah, I don't know about schools.
Yeah, that's a thing. If
Cool.
you meet another St. Louisan, you got to ask them where they went to high school. That's a fucking thing. So, one answer will be Ladue, the other answer will be like McClure or whatever.
I wasn't living near any of those high schools.
It just gauges your socioeconomic.
Okay.
It gives you
Like if someone said they went to Ruskin or if they went to Sinner, they'd know that they were poor and,
none of that means anything to me. But
Well, Sinner's right there.
okay, yeah, well, fair enough.
So.
Yeah, it's right next
Right
door.
next
We
to
can
my
spit on
house.
it.
Yeah, you live
fact,
in a
we
shitty
will.
neighborhood.
Right, I live in a
right.
shithole.
Yeah, you're right.
I do.
This house is awful.
No, I did in St. Louis. It was
I'm
a
actually
pretty
scared
nasty neighborhood.
right now. I'm afraid for my life
Right,
being
I
in
know.
this neighborhood.
Be careful. Now, which one?
What?
Which one did you live near?
I can't even remember. But
Well, what was your neighborhood?
It wasn't. It wasn't a good. It was Glasgow Village, if that means anything.
Oh God, it doesn't.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Glasgow Village.
Yeah.
Wow.
No,
the hell is that?
It sounds nice.
Well,
but
what's
it
the
wasn't.
what's the
It
highway?
was- fuck if I know, man. We were very, very close to the border with Illinois.
Oh, you're in
Way the
fucking
fuck down
East Town.
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
not nowhere near the city. That's
Yeah.
like a 45 to an hour minute drive.
Okay. Jesus.
But our neighborhood went down. Like it was never well to do, but it went down as we got older.
Yeah.
And it was just more crime,
As you were-
more gangs.
yeah.
We got chased by some hoods in a lowrider one time.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. We knew then things had gone.
You knew it was time to move west to KC.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time I go home, man, it's feels a lot less like home.
Yeah.
Our house actually burned down.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah, a few years
Hey,
ago.
congratulations.
Some of our old neighbors sent me like a video of it. Like,
Thanks. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. It was
Hey.
cool.
What's it been, about 10 years here?
I didn't
Hey, by
even
the way.
recognize it at that
Yeah.
time. It had changed so much with different people living there.
A buddy of mine lived in, is it Bevo?
Beaver?
Bevo, B-E-V-O.
I'm going to say yes.
Area of St. Louis. Little district.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound familiar.
It starts with
Bevel.
B, ends with an O.
I believe you.
Yeah.
Ends
It
with
doesn't-
an O?
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe.
It's kind of a rough area. I know
So
I
when
didn't
did
feel
you
so
move down
welcome.
here?
Oh, wait.
Is it down here or is it over here?
Oh.
It's down.
Left here.
All right, yeah. 08, so newer. Well, it's,
10
That's
years.
about when we
In a
met,
decade.
honestly.
yeah, almost a decade later than I, but yeah, that's still, yeah.
So
Long
that's
time.
was that about when we met?
No,
Right in there. 9 or 10.
Well, I was probably at the X hotel for a year and a half or so.
Okay.
So
What's an ex-hotel?
the non-hotel that we describe on air?
I guess so.
Ah, okay. We're afraid. There are things that we have shied away from mentioning, and I feel stupid for doing so. But we do it anyways.
Well, you know.
Like the church.
You
Yeah,
don't
that
wanna-
mess.
You don't want to let anything too detailed on the internet.
I guess so. Come back and get you.
How so? What are they going to get us
No,
with?
nobody knows who the fuck we are.
Well,
And no one's ever going to
if
listen to
anything,
this
just
shit
on
anyway.
principle, right?
No,
No,
I'm not worried
just
about
on principle because we're just letting our privacy go. And
Definitely get closer to that mic.
can you hear me?
You're going to need
Yes.
to go ahead and get it
Yeah.
all up in there.
See, his is a condenser mic, doesn't need to be that close, but ours, dynamic, you basically have to eat it.
I mean, yeah,
You know how
I
that
feel
works.
like I'm earning $20 here.
Right.
Well, there's a price for everything.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so, Joe, why is he here? What's going on? Why do
Well,
we have
this
a guest?
fellow here
Yeah.
has,
Has a,
God,
he's a dick.
I don't know.
He's shorts, shirt, and he's drinking beer, and he's wearing a hat.
Yeah.
Is
all
that why
true.
he's here?
Well, we go way back, first
All
of
of
all.
it is true.
That is one of the reasons he is here, because he has clothes on. So that is one of the reasons he was invited.
Well, my list, that's negative. But,
Yeah, well, you've never seen this guy.
all right,
naked.
so,
No.
how did you guys meet?
No, we worked at the
The X
Hotel together.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, have you disclosed this already in 1 and 2?
not to him. No. No.
Okay.
No, all I know is he
And
knows you, and that you're a graphic
when I first
designer.
saw him.
No, I meant the specific name of.
Oh, no.
Yeah. All right.
Even if you told me, I wouldn't remember it because it
But
didn't mean
yeah.
anything to me.
I meant on here.
Yeah, probably
No,
not.
I don't think so.
Word.
I
No.
just remember seeing you for the first time thinking,
What a douche.
this fucking guy
This fucking piece of shit.
is going to be like straight lace kind of.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what
weird.
I thought. That's what I thought when I saw
Weird.
you. And
I get that a lot.
somebody at the hotel was like, you need to show this guy around the building. And the next thing I know, we're hanging out like at the balcony of the old abandoned ballroom,
Yeah.
smoking cigarettes.
Fucking
Like-
throwing plates.
like 5 minutes later.
Climbing the
You know?
fucking rafters, literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
And so I was like, okay, this isn't so bad. You know.
This ain't so bad.
All right.
And that's
You're
how it
still
all
a piece
began.
of shit.
Yeah.
but
And how many years ago was that?
It's been a
that
not
was
quite a decade.
2011,
About-
12.
No, because I quit
Yes.
in 12.
No,
I quit
well,
in 12.
I know, but it was 11 or 12 because
It had to be
like
10.
early 12.
So
I think
shortly
it was
after he
10.
met you, he quit.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I did, yeah. I
yeah.
quit. Yeah.
I got fired first though.
No,
Yeah.
no, I quit
yes.
first.
No. Trust me.
Really? Okay. I don't remember.
Trust me.
Can we trust you? You don't think Joss Whedon directed and wrote the first Avengers?
I conceded that to my ignorance of the subject.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's my
I
specialty.
don't know shit about Joss Whedon. Other than that, he was
Buffy,
the
motherfucker,
creator-
what are you
That's
talking
what I
about?
was just gonna goddamn say.
Yes.
Dude,
Firefly.
interrupted me.
Big fan of
I
Buffy.
know about Firefly. Well, let me finish.
Finish, man. What is it? Was that a bird or a car alarm?
Could have been a car.
Both.
A caradactyl.
Ah.
A pterodactyl.
Both.
One, oh, no, that's definitely a bird.
Yeah.
That's definitely a car.
I don't know if the mics can pick it up. Probably not. If I did my job right, the answer is no. They're like, what the fuck?
Birds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're in the Crow's Nest studios.
Oh yeah, we better let everybody know where we are.
That's kind of nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
Crow's Nest Studios,
I like that.
where you can hear birds and feel the wind when it decides to do its thing.
So,
Yeah, that would be nice right now.
Strum and Scribe.
We are Strum and Scribe.
That's right. My mom
Yeah.
asked me about that.
Really?
She's like, "So your scribe, does it? What? How do you scribe the show?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm not the scribe of the show. It just
Right,
helps
you're
describe who we are.
Right.
You're the musician. I'm the writer.
Describe.
Not of the show, but just that's who we are."
Yeah. It makes sense to me.
But it makes sense that you'd ask that because most things have a topic or a purpose, and this show is kind of ill-defined.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know.
It's
what
kind of like an
about.
episode of Seinfeld.
Only 2
Show about
episodes so
nothing.
far. So.
Yeah, the show about nothing, but where every episode is about something.
It's just a conversation.
Yeah,
Right.
Just a conversation.
Well, I'm going to open it with a lighthearted, silly conversation.
go for it. Take your pants off.
Well, we don't need that.
It's lighthearted.
Well, there's nothing light about that. No.
All right, Gene.
I'm driving
okay.
the other day, headed to Lee Summit. We all know where that is.
Lee Scummit?
God damn.
Yeah. And I'm flipping through the stations. There's not shit, of course. You know, no one needs to hear Crazy Train again. Nobody needs to hear that shit again.
I kind of do.
Well, you.
I don't even know.
Let's put it on right now.
No, we're good.
Anyway, there's a couple of fucks sitting around on radio, and they're talking about a hypothetical situation where you're attacked by a wolf.
That happens every day.
Like a real attack. I don't think it does. I don't even know if there's an instance where it's ever happened.
I've been
What?
attacked.
Wolf attacks? Wolf
Yes,
attacks are
no
very
one
rare.
has ever been attacked by wolves in the history.
You see this
Maybe
discoloration on my hand?
Yes.
It's not a wolf attack.
A husky attack, and they're almost wolf.
So these guys were going back and forth about how they would never survive. They'd never be able to defend themselves against a wolf.
Okay. They're not that hard.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I mean, first of all,
Maybe you guys don't know what real wolves
well,
look
no,
like.
they're
and-
massive.
Yeah, they're fucking
They're
huge.
serious predators.
They're a moose to a horse, as far as wolf to dog.
Okay.
Moose to
Yeah.
Like a moose shoulders are probably hitting the ceiling,
Yeah. Okay.
right?
No.
Yes.
Moose shoulders
Yes.
are hitting the ceiling?
Yes.
7 foot shoulders.
Yes.
Okay. That's fine.
All right. I'll believe
Here's
you.
what-
I've never met a moose.
Here's what I thought. Dogs, canines, they can't grab you.
Yes.
They cannot grab you.
Have you not heard
They-
of pipples locking onto people's arms?
No, they with their fucking hands. They don't have
Hands.
the
They don't have
capability
hands.
to grip you like a cat would,
All right.
or
Go
like
on.
a bear would.
Go
Right,
on.
yeah.
I feel like if I was up against a wolf,
You butter
and-
yourself
and
down.
I would butter myself up. No, I think I could. I think if it came to life and death, and it was a wolf,
Well, what
Okay.
would your strategy be?
How would you inflict harm on this wolf?
That's easy. Break its neck.
How
Well-
would you break a wolf's neck?
They have a neck. You grab a
How would you grab a wolf's head?
you get your arm. First off, they're already on top of you, so you don't have to catch it.
well, we don't know if he's on
They-
top of you yet.
Are either of you adept with playing with dogs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
My
plenty.
husky is huge.
And you're going to grab this dog who's in the throes of taking down game?
Well, the
Like deer and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Like
nice thing
prey?
about-
I don't know. Here's
No.
the thing. I'm not saying
No.
that I'm 100% certain that I could fight a wolf.
I would do it with my bare teeth.
But
I'm
come on.
100% certain you can't.
You don't think I can?
No.
At all. There's no way. If it's you and a
Just-
wolf, that's just it.
Just your hands?
That's just it.
Just your hands?
I've got hands. He doesn't.
Yeah, okay.
No?
No.
Not at all.
See, I've
No way.
actually thought about this in terms
what-
of what
okay.
would happen if my husky went for me in a big bad way. And admittedly, he's smaller than a
Big
wolf.
bad way.
Yeah, he's smaller than a wolf, less strong than a wolf, but he's big.
Right.
And first thing that would happen is he would go for you with his teeth,
Yeah.
and probably, if he actually wanted to hurt you, he'd go for your throat.
For your throat.
And you would have your hands up, and he would happily lock on to your forearm with all his teeth.
Yeah.
Doing a lot of damage.
Yeah.
But in that moment, you have a chance to do a lot of damage yourself. Like, get around with your own, like, put him in a headlock. And,
Yeah, if you can grab that animal by its neck with your arms.
Wiry beings.
Are they any more wiry than a drunk meth head?
Yes.
Would you, if you had to go up
Why
against
are you
a guy,
standing up?
if he's got to go to the bathroom.
Oh, that's new. All right. We'll try to deal with that.
Would you, if you had the choice to fight a guy with a knife or a wolf, what would it be?
Dude with the knife. By far.
Yeah, I would.
A dude with a knife.
I really don't know.
Well, what kind of dude are we talking about? You said a meth head, right? Just like a crazy lunatic?
I don't know. Yeah, go shit in there.
Yeah, if it was some douche
Yeah,
on the street, I'd rather take a guy with a knife
than a wolf.
Than a wolf. But I still, and you know what? Fighting a wolf,
Yeah,
I do not ever want to do that.
nobody wants to do it.
Because like I think my chances of taking down my dog Nimbus, the husky, are almost guaranteed.
Right.
He would do a lot of damage, but ultimately he would be dead and I would not be.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, he ripped an artery in which he would be dead, and then shortly after I would be dead.
Yeah.
But a wolf, I think my chances would go down to maybe 50 or 30% of survival.
Yeah.
It's possible,
But
they're dangerous motherfuckers.
Yeah, I know, but I feel like there's a possibility.
Yeah,
you know what I
there's
mean?
a
I don't feel like, okay, if it's me and a bear, I know I'm done.
Yeah, you're
It's
fucked.
me and a chimpanzee. I know
Probably,
I'm done.
yeah.
It's me and a jaguar. I know I'm done. I feel like the wolf
Yeah.
is at that level.
Where the chances are there.
The chances there.
Yeah. I agree.
Did you hear what I said?
No, go ahead.
He was
No.
peeing, man.
Yeah, he was urinating.
Yeah, we think that out of all the truly dangerous animals in the forest and the jungles, the wolf, at least there's a chance. Whereas the others, there's almost no chance without us.
I was making the
serious
comparison
weapon.
of bear, jaguar,
Yeah.
a lion,
But the thing
a
about
chimpanzee.
the thing about the wolf is
You
they
really
are
think that-
thick
I don't
with
know if
muscle.
You
I
really
think
think
that.
that you, as a suburbanite,
I'm not a
2018
hold on. First of all, I'm not a goddamn suburbanite.
you sure as hell are.
No, I'm
so,
What are you then?
I've never lived in the burbs. This is not the
whatever.
burbs. Don't relegate me to a Johnson County fuck. Okay.
What I'm saying is, your homogenized lifestyle does not put you in
Continue.
put you in the same category of life and death struggle
I know that.
against apex predator.
No, I know
No.
that. But
doesn't.
people have survived in other situations who have probably been far more.
Surviving an attack like that would depend on because you have the size and the strength to do it. You do, but you don't have the weapons or the natural.
I don't have the animalistic.
Human beings are
instinct.
naturally one
Yeah,
of the
we are-
worst
exactly.
defenders.
Oh, yeah.
against
Joe, I'm doing
just
this
physical attack.
Please do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Don't look me up and down. I will fight you right
No,
now.
aggression would be the only thing that would
You're right.
give you a chance. If you came at it head on with aggression.
I hope you find your way home tonight.
oh shit.
Yeah, he's being very condescending of your abilities to fight off a wolf.
I know.
Well, you have a better chance than I.
I know.
Because of the
Okay,
mustache.
good. Good.
But you're
Okay.
taller, and you seem a little thicker than him. Why is that?
I'm not, but I'm taller. Maybe I don't think I am.
It's
I
the
don't
mustache,
know.
right?
A little
That-
bit taller.
It's
That's
the
what does it
stash.
for you?
It's the stash.
Yeah,
I mean,
wolf
the
saw
wolf will
that,
just
he
be
would-
like, "Oh shit." Maybe
You don't
not.
fuck with
One
a
of
guy with a
those.
Yeah, you don't
mustache.
fuck
Remember
with that.
Jeffrey Dahmer?
Yeah. Every wolf knows Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh, yes.
Anyway,
Okay, so we don't know what's going to happen, and we're not going to test this. You know,
We could test it.
we could.
You'll
should.
get on all fours and bark at him like a wolf, and he'll see what he can do.
You give me 20
What?
razor sharp talons or whatever,
Yeah.
and a few canines, and
Yeah, and
I don't know.
Oh shit! What's this?
This is illegal. You can't have your phone going off in the middle of a podcast.
I know.
What kind of rug do you have coming?
It ties the
It's
room
probably
together.
not coming. I've already paid for it, and it hasn't been here.
Well, that's just a matter of shipping.
Yeah, the jerks didn't know where I lived.
Oh.
Apparently,
Have
one pull.
There it is.
One pull of
One.
Winchester bourbon whiskey. Well, my knees are exposed.
ooh,
Sexy.
All right.
I'm glad that's the only thing.
Yeah, you guys got to keep
exposed.
talking while I drink this.
So,
This is a podcast, goddammit.
Right?
So, are we...
Is it too early to get into the meat and potatoes of the conversation?
No,
No.
why not?
No.
What are those? His main topic of discontent?
That's a fine one.
Oh, is that why I'm here?
I
I don't know.
My understanding,
I know
and
you
this is
wanted to
very
come
limited,
over.
is that you came here to rail against the system.
Oh, is that right?
Is that
What'd you
what-
guys
Yeah.
do in the first two?
I think we
do?
talked about peanut butter.
Yeah,
and
nothing
mayonnaise
good.
sandwiches.
No.
They were
Good.
terrible episodes, and nobody should watch them or listen to them.
And you haven't
We're
uploaded them
boning
yet?
our way
No.
up. No.
But you know what? All of our hang-ups on that are sorted now. I mean, we have the music, we have the logo.
Our introduction is coming.
How's that
That's
logo,
right.
by the way?
Oh, you haven't seen it?
No, I haven't.
Have you seen the
I
latest
saw
one?
the first one.
This is the guy who saw the first one.
He's the one that put doubt in your heart. You didn't like it, huh?
Well, as a professional, no.
All right. But you haven't seen the new one?
No,
All right.
I haven't.
Show it to him.
Oh, surely you've got it somewhere close by.
Oh,
I hear you are a visual artist of some sort.
that's one way.
He's
of
a
putting
fine artist. He's a
it.
great artist.
I illustrated, started off sketching my whole life. Not like sketching my life, but, drawing. Then I got into graphic stuff, Photoshop, 3D, Maya programs.
Mm-hmm.
But I never got into Illustrator, the program Illustrator.
Yeah, it's an important one.
Well, because I figured I could do everything in Photoshop.
You
know?
cannot.
True.
You cannot
Photoshop does not do vectors well.
Correct.
It does them, but it's just
They're not true vectors.
And I'm just
Exactly.
over here
so.
partaking. A certain
No, I can't
proclivity
do
that
that.
shall remain nameless.
Yeah, I'm at a complete loss what I'm doing. All right, here we are.
You're looking for the new logo.
That's right. And so you hated the other one and got him to hate it.
No,
But that actually-
I don't think I needed much convincing.
But that actually got him in the mood to sort of tell me what he was really thinking. Where? There we are.
Took me a minute.
Such a
Here we go.
Fuck you.
He wanted Art Deco.
Told you I wanted Art Deco.
And so I finally knew, okay, Art Deco. So I had a direction. And then he gave me a logo to Tom's Town, the Kansas City brewery.
I got that
tavern.
right away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I got that right away. Sure.
And so I then I had a real direction. I saw those lines. I'm like,
And
all
the
right.
black and the gold was nice. It
Yeah,
was a nice
there's something I
touch.
could do with that. And so that inspired that. Now, yeah. And now that is all vector and all transparent. Everything black you see is transparent.
Sure.
So you can put it over any material you want.
Can you reduce that 1/3 size? Or
What do you
at all?
mean?
Can you just scroll out?
Well, this is just a JPEG.
Yeah. You should be able to
Scroll out.
still zoom out.
Well, this is just a JPEG, man.
You should still be able to zoom out.
This is standard, what is it? Sprint's text messages.
Here, you do it then.
What are you talking about?
Okay. So reduce the size that we're looking at.
Yeah. all
So
right.
as a logo exists, you want it to exist in a 1 inch by 1 inch space.
All right.
Okay. So and square as well, especially for any online / YouTube.
If you're uploading it to like an app, like Podcast Player
yeah,
or something
it's
like
definitely
that.
got to be square.
All right. Well, yeah, that can be done.
Yeah.
Because
And-
that outer box there, that little tiny black gold frame, I can change that to whatever I want.
Sure. So, but the body copy there, the word mark will probably be lost. The ampersand will definitely be lost if you reduce it
square
to.
it.
You won't
to
be able
a-
to read it.
Yeah, you
It'll
want
just
it to
be
be
out of-
readable.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah.
want it to be legible for sure.
Well, yeah, that is important that people can read it.
Yes.
Well, in that case, I think we probably, for the smallest ones, we'd have to kind of lose the name. Because
Okay.
there's no way to have
The
our
name-
names
our
in
names?
1-inch
Yeah.
tiny little boxes.
I think that's
Rather
okay.
Yeah.
You think that's all right? We don't have to have
You
the
guys
names
are
there.
doing it, man. I'm $100 an hour, so
Right. He's wanting the cash.
Yeah.
All we have are PBRs.
I wouldn't lose the name in the logo for sure.
No, not
Well,
the
no,
name.
Unless you're-
not the Strum and Scribe name, but like our names at the bottom.
Yeah, that would help.
Yeah.
It's a discussion we'll have to have.
So logos, you want to be very.
You got to understand, we're both poor.
I understand.
You want them to
he
be
understands
readable
I
from a
definitely
distance.
understand
You
that.
want them to be readable in small format. You want
We're
them
not
to
poor.
be.
We're not
You
really
want it
poor.
to be readable in 1 inch by 1 inch or less.
Yeah.
You know,
It's pretty damn small.
square. Yes, I mean, like look at Facebook's logo, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Firefox or Tinder or any other
Pornhub.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But how would
or
the,
you had to think
YouTube.
about
YouTube.
that.
how would the Tomstown thing be useful in like 1 inch
but
by
think
1
of the
inch?
application. It's Tomstown uploading their logo to YouTube or any other online thing where they have a little thumbnail of their logo. Do they have an app? No, they've got labels. They've got
You've
got
yet to try that, right?
What?
Actually uploading it to
Oh,
a site where
yeah, I
it
haven't
would be
done that
seen.
yet.
Yeah. You know, we're
All right.
working it out.
Well, our logo
it's
will
far
not look
better than the
very-
first one.
very
Give you
good
that.
as
so much better.
Far better.
And
As
I
1
actually
inch.
really like it.
yeah.
And I like it as like a promotional piece, as a logo for what you guys need a logo for.
Mm-hmm.
It still needs a little bit of work.
A little bit. Well, from what I'm thinking, to be absolutely readable in the 1 inch by 1 inch, it has to be redone completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little bit.
Dicks.
Because that would not.
I mean, think of where if you want to promote this thing, if you want to have the face of your project,
Yeah.
I would say company if it were a company. You know, if you want the face of your project out there and recognizable and also rememberable, whatever that word is.
Memorable.
Thanks. You would you needed to have a certain format that is very quickly read on the first read. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so super simple, super simple.
He just needs $100 is what
Mine
he's saying.
is elaborate as fuck.
It's very
That's what
elaborate,
took-
and it
that's
would
what
make
took
a
so long.
great promotional piece of some sort. But
Ooh, undo him.
Well, we'll find out what happens.
Remove that.
do we have any more beer?
There's one down there.
Oh, you're a hooker.
I know. You think somebody could bring us some beer?
Do you
Will that
rug
post-
guy?
a little bell?
The rug
rug
guy.
guy.
Where the fuck is that guy?
Where's the rug guy?
God. He would tie the room together
It
right
would
now.
really tie the room together.
Where's the
Dude.
rug?
It not.
What room is it for? Really?
It's for here.
Is it?
one.
I got a rug for up here, and it
It
was
needs
supposed to
tying
be
together.
here, and the guy couldn't find the house, so he didn't bring it.
That was why he couldn't find the house.
That's what the email said. The guy had trouble locating the address.
Well, did you explain to him that it's right next to a school? A big school at that.
Maybe that's why he didn't come. He's afraid of schools.
He's got the 500 foot.
Yeah, it's
Thing.
restraining order.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
I can't be around children.
Yeah, he did.
And
He
And
did.
we're all
somewhat.
going to have to leave.
Yeah,
No.
probably.
Surely not.
What is that?
No.
What's it
Oh,
smell?
no.
It
That's
smells
him.
good. Yeah.
No, that's his vaporizer.
Okay. What aroma is that? What scent?
Ass.
I don't know. At this point, I'm just buying shit.
Okay. But you were smoking a cigarette a moment ago,
Yeah.
and you got a vape
Yeah.
and something else. You'll smoke
Probably
whatever
a few
you can get your
Who
hands
knows
on.
what else he's been inhaling?
Who knows what's going through my
It was
bloodstream?
a
Big
He
pair
just
of
moved
underwear he
from
had in
one
his
to
face
another.
earlier. I don't No.
All right, so we kind of got off track on the logo thing, which you hate again. So,
I like it a lot better. Like,
all right.
I'm so into that etching style.
It's nice.
It's a good start to that, and it's a good representation of that style.
Actually, now that we think about it, for the 1-inch thing, I could take the elements of the guitar and the pen maybe and just put them together.
You think that's going to read at 1 inch and 1
I don't know, man. There's only experimenting we'll find out.
So much detail in that. You got to think very simple. Again, think the Facebook logo.
Well, that would literally just
Think
be
Nike.
our letters then, S and S.
Think ABC. Well,
We would be-
see. That's why that's why it takes a professional to figure it out. It's not it's not just throwing letters on there. It's,
Yeah, but that's all it ever is.
No,
That's all
it
you
isn't.
do, man. That's all.
No.
No. Anyway, I want to get back to why you're here,
Okay.
Yes.
which is not the logo. But thanks for the help on that.
Just tell us about where your mind is.
Yeah,
Where are you?
where, with all the smoke you've inhaled right now, what are you thinking
Go
about?
on.
You're the guest.
I'm thinking you're putting me on the spot.
Well, geez, you're in the chair. That's the hot seat.
Yeah.
It's going to be hot after you're in it.
Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Why don't you lead into a conversation?
Oh Lord.
All
Okay.
right, well, let's lead into a conversation with this fellow.
All right, you've heard that Joe has a podcast with a friend. That's what this podcast is, and you're like, I probably have something I could say on the topic of gingers and bald men.
I think,
That's
I think
all
we're
three of us almost.
You're right.
Yeah, and so you got all lubed up and came here with thoughts and notions running through your head.
I've got nothing running through
Oh,
my head.
Lord God. You're a terrible guest. Get out of here. All right, so Joe.
nothing
All right, I'll
running
turn
through
to
my
you,
head.
Joe. You're on the hot seat. You thought we needed a guest right now today.
I remember.
What were your thoughts on him? Why'd you want him?
Well, first of all, damn it. First of
This
all,
is not going well.
no, it's not.
I'm going to drink more whiskey.
Goffstein always has an answer.
Goffstein. Who the fuck is that?
That's this motherfucker.
Oh,
That's
hi.
me.
I like that name.
Right. No, it's a nice name.
It's better than Patrick.
I don't know if it's better. It's up there. It's nice. What's going on in the world today, Pete? What's going on? How about this? What's going on in the Middle East?
Our president fucked
I asked you about the
hooker,
petrodollar.
right? Or all of
I know that.
Wait, all of his wives were hookers and
Yeah.
mistresses, right?
Have a sip of that and hand it to me.
Well, they got the job somehow.
I asked you recently about the petrodollar and some of the bombings that were happening in the Middle East.
Oh, wow.
And why, and what was happening, and what was really happening. You gave me an answer.
How long ago was that?
Week or two?
Was
Has
it?
Has it changed?
I don't know.
We're not bombing anymore, and there is no Middle East. A lot has changed.
You're going to have to talk.
The petrol dollar, huh?
Let's talk about the petrodollar.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, really. So what's the deal with the petrodollar? I mean, it's a dollar you use to buy petrol?
Well, it's different than the dollar that we used to use. It's
Yeah.
based on oil now.
So
Essentially.
as I understand it, and more smarter people than I know more than I.
Mm-hmm.
But if
Nobody's smarter than you.
is that right?
No.
Okay. So if the the petrodollar is a system based on an agreement that all oil in the world will be traded on the U.S. dollar, correct?
There you go. Mm-hmm.
So as it stands now, I think Iran and
Are not doing that.
I think they're trying to back out of it somehow. I don't think it's possible,
Mm-hmm.
but
Okay.
Well, holy God. What are we going to do about that?
I don't think they're. I don't think it matters.
Hey,
I
how
think
about
that is so low on the.
Does it not matter?
No, I
Maybe
don't
it
think
doesn't matter.
What if we send over an ambassador with a large enough dick, and he could just hop up and down, and they would watch it bounce the dick, and they would say, "Hey, we need to get back on that petrodollar."
Well, everybody's still on the petrodollar, I believe.
Well, there you go. Problem solved.
Well, I was thinking,
But again,
From-
there are smarter people. Than
from
that
what I
more.
was reading up on, is that things happening in the Middle East, there was a direct correlation between the leaders there and here, and the resistance to the American dollar, the petrodollar.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could understand why. It's the Middle East and not America, so why would they be held to our economic standards, or lack thereof?
Because it's a mutual beneficiary situation
To some.
to all parties involved, except
Well,
for citizens.
Except for citizens.
Right.
Ah, okay.
Right.
So
That's
it's
the
for,
part.
for all the governments involved. It's beneficiary.
The bureaucracy.
And NGOs and,
Yeah.
yeah,
Because if it was beneficial to everybody,
private interests.
they wouldn't care. They wouldn't be backing down. They would just enjoy the windfall.
It's depressing.
I guess. It makes me want to drink gasoline.
Mm-hmm. Or get some, prescription drugs for that.
For what? Foot
Your
fungus?
depression.
Oh, yeah.
Or my depression, or his.
Do you have depression?
I have so much depression.
That's what the
Mm-hmm.
mustache is for?
Yeah, dude. That's to hide
Yeah.
the depression.
That's the
Yeah.
one beard is for.
That's the depression.
I'm actually working on mine,
filter.
which you can't see, probably.
No.
I can see a smudge of darkness.
That's probably just the chocolate milk I had
yeah.
earlier.
That's probably what that is.
So, do you guys watch these videos where they talk about, like, just online, about prescription drug use and the mental health?
Like
Of-
TED Talks or what?
Just whatever's out there. Like,
Okay.
if you Googled, the rise in,
Well, I'll be
Prescription
honest.
medication.
The most I've heard about that is from Joe Rogan because he talks about it a lot.
okay.
He's always going on about how, the number of shooters, mass
Mhm.
shooters are on antidepressants,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, well, that obviously doesn't mean that antidepressants are making them shoot.
Except for
But-
the Vegas shooter.
Really, not him?
Yeah.
He wasn't.
Yeah, a few of them weren't.
Mhm.
Okay.
There's almost no direct tie between them all except for white male.
Yeah.
Except for the last one.
We're the
which was
easiest
the
to
white
come by in
female.
this country.
Yeah.
I mean, the three of us are here.
One of us got to be a shooter.
Well,
Right.
Eventually, probably, right?
Which one is
We
it?
all have our white male rage.
Yeah.
Traffic will do it to you.
Yeah. It's like putting on a suit. You got to take that shit off. You want to start taking over some shit,
Yeah, sure.
You
Take
feel
over
that
what?
shit rising up. I don't
Oh,
know.
the
Like,
anger? Yeah.
some,
Yeah, well, I realize that when you think about how easy it is, especially in the Midwest where we live, to get a gun.
Oh, yeah.
I don't actually have a gun, but I was like, I always kind of wanted one.
Yeah, you
But-
can buy your cat food and a gun at the same place.
Exactly. Well, I was thinking, I really shouldn't have one like in the car, even if you get like a concealed carry that allows you to, because sometimes I get so mad during traffic. It's like if I
Yeah.
had a gun,
Yeah.
God knows what I would do at this moment. So it's just like it's best just not
true.
to put those
Yeah.
elements into play.
Yeah.
So if you track the discussion between two logical people online of where the gun debate goes, so I think everybody agrees that mentally ill human beings should not be allowed to carry guns, correct?
Sure.
Right? I'm pretty sure 98% of us agree that the Second Amendment does not apply.
And the other 2% are the mentally ill people he's talking
Yeah,
about.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Second Amendment does not apply to people who have certain mental conditions and whatnot, right?
Agreed.
Yep.
Okay. So how do you regulate that?
Exactly.
Right.
Difficult.
So
Especially with as many of us as there are.
if the solution, if the problem really is mental health and not guns, then how do you solve said problem?
Right.
If the problem is mental health
Well,
and
you've
not
gotta
guns,
look somewhere
how do you
else
solve
other
the
than
problem
guns
of mental
first.
health via guns? So what you would need to do is set up a giant bureaucracy that tracks everybody's daily mental health. And I don't think that's the world
we don't need that either.
Why would you, instead of covering everybody, whether they want a gun or not, why wouldn't you just put those bureaucracies in the way of guns so that you have to go through them to get a gun?
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what we're talking about is the pro-gun argument where, they will most likely agree that mentally ill human beings shouldn't have guns, so you have to combat that argument with, well, how do you regulate
Who can't
mental
have a gun?
health
Yeah.
on a weekly, daily basis?
Well, yeah.
Right.
Well, my
Because-
original thought was, all right, you already have the slight hiccup before you can get a gun. You have to have a background check and all that stuff. Well, what if that was expanded to like a week with a psychiatrist?
Fine.
And
so
but
10 years down the line,
Yeah.
you break up with your wife, you have a divorce, your kids get taken, or you have a bad day at work.
You don't know when someone's going to go nuts.
Right. You can't track somebody's mental health.
yeah,
If it's a mental health issue, you can't track somebody's mental health.
I agree, and it's worse than that. Even is the ease with which you can fool somebody during a short period of introduction is so easy. You can be a crazy motherfucker and still come off sane for a short conversation.
Correct.
Oh, sure.
And you could get that rubber stamp like, all right, he seems fine, and you could be hiding a whole world of weirdness.
Correct.
Kind of like I do.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I would do
Yeah,
when I talk
correct.
to a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Like, no, I do not want to eat your eyeballs. I'm a normal person.
And then when he goes to sleep, he's blind.
Exactly.
So
never wakes up with those eyes.
so really, what you're setting up is a giant bureaucracy
For no
of
reason. They can't
tracking
do
people's
what it wants to
mental
do.
stability, and how do you do that? So really, the easiest solution to the mass shooting problem in America is taking away the guns.
Yeah.
And
That's
then,
the easiest
now-
way to do it.
now, in this society, currently, and in the society we all dream about, nobody needs them anyway.
Yeah.
Now, I will concede a midpoint to where revolvers, non-semi-automatic weapons, bolt action, long rifles, etc., etc. Things
Sure.
you need to hunt or
Nobody
defend your
needs an
home
Izzy.
with, you should, fine, take those. But anything on the battlefield,
Right.
anything
Gary Busey doesn't
semi-automatic
need
/
an automatic
automatic,
weapon.
you don't need.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I agree with that completely, except I just know that you still have so many of these incidences where people are... 'cause, I mean, even non-semi-automatics like a revolver...
Fine. I'd rather take 6 bullets between 30 and 2 seconds.
Kind of like
All right.
Not me personally. I'm just saying.
Because it really doesn't matter how many bullets
in a
you've
classroom, I'd rather have somebody with a revolver with 6 bullets
Yeah, instead of...
take on 30
yeah.
in 2 seconds.
True, yeah.
With
Would do a lot less damage than having...
or 30 plus if you had a banana clip or
But of
whatever it's
course,
called.
one bullet is all it takes.
Well, for one person,
one
but we're
person,
talking
yeah.
about multiple.
one.
You whore.
No, believe it or
most
not,
of
we
them
had
will
this
be yours
conversation
anyway.
at work the other day. Because
That's a
it's
bad
been
idea.
slow at work, and so we got some stuff in to do, and we were all sitting around a table building these cables and stuff. And the topic went to gun control, just like it did here.
Oh, sure.
And you could not have had a more left-wing guy. I mean, the kind of ridiculous guy who's like, anybody in the NRA is a psycho, to a retired military dude and a guy your age and my age who owns like 6 guns.
Oh, wow.
And he was getting really riled up over the gun ban issue. And So basically, the obvious thing is there's no
turned
easy
into-
answer to this, but it
Yeah.
was heated.
Did it
debate.
get heated? Yeah.
And my coworker, he was like, his favorite go-to.
I
and this
disagree that
doesn't-
there's no easy answer.
All right, whatever. But his go-to
Between
was
this situation, there isn't.
he likes to say that you get rid of guns and you would still have bats and knives and stuff like that. And I'm thinking,
You can't solve violence. We're talking
well,
about
I know,
mass
I know.
shootings.
And I'm thinking, and he's literally saying that they're the same level of, efficiency at killing.
He's saying that if people want to find a way to kill, they'll do it.
Yeah,
Is that what he's
but-
saying?
Which is
but
fine.
my
Like,
argument
you can't
was-
solve violence. You
Right.
can solve mass shootings
Yeah.
in schools.
My argument was that, there's a reason that every military in the world has left swords, because when guns were invented, armies with guns, even poorly trained armies with guns, were slaughtering the best samurais in the world, and were slaughtering the steppe archers of the steppe lands. I mean, these were the best fighters in all the world, and armies, poorly slobby morons with guns, were able to take them out, because all it takes is just a little bit of training, and you can shoot one of those things into a crowd and hit something.
Yeah.
So it's like guns are a different thing altogether. They're way more efficient at killing.
Oh, yeah. So your solution, or the solution, mass shootings in schools.
Mass
That's the
bannings,
problem.
basically, right? Getting having them turn in all their guns, and
Look at
destroying
what
them.
Australia did.
I
right?
agree, it worked there, and
Sure did.
it's helped a lot in the UK, where they just don't have guns, basically. Of course, Trump would
always-
say that there's mass stabbings now, which they do have a lot of knife.
And fine, I'd rather take a dude with a knife
Me
than a
too.
dude with a fucking
Yeah.
gun.
Yeah,
Yeah, if I can run faster than him, I'm okay.
Right.
exactly. I mean, you got, a bullet is all it takes to take down a highly trained person.
Oh,
It doesn't
yeah.
matter how good you are.
Yeah.
Well, that guy has a gun, and if he's just fast enough to pull it before you could be far superior fighter, and you're dead.
Yeah.
Just because guns are like that.
And again, the argument always goes to
What if the government rises up against us? Is that
Oh,
what you're
well,
gonna
that
say?
too,
There's
yeah.
that one.
Well,
Oh, yeah, they're
because there
very
are
worried about
nukes
that.
and drones and
Yeah, and you could take one of those
Yeah.
out with...
Our armed militia that we could form here in this neighborhood
Yeah,
would not stand against,
especially this neighborhood.
even the
and
police
who's
force.
regulating it, by the way?
Nobody.
Him.
Right. So
I'll
how's
be-
the
I'll be
Second
the head of
Amendment
it.
even apply to any of these fuckers?
Mm.
So how are they a well-regulated militia? They are not.
Perhaps-
Who's regulating them?
Perhaps a month after the downfall, they would find regulation. They would find their structure, but I doubt even that would happen. Or, yeah, basically,
That's a
if-
little part that's always forgotten.
Yeah, if your government turns against you, especially as we have it now, you're doomed.
No, we're done.
You're doomed. Yeah, you don't stand a chance with your guns.
It's true.
Well, I'm
So-
glad we solved that.
So let's
All right.
let's talk about, instead of
Hold on.
finding the answer for guns.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was
What?
gonna say all three of us are kind of on the same side that
Mm-hmm.
guns should at least be regulated heavily or banned.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's unusual. In Kansas City, to find three individuals who thinks that the same way.
Yeah, right here in the
Yeah.
heartland.
All right, well, whatever. Let's go.
So next step, you can't stop violence. You can't stop violent thoughts. You can't stop one person in 320 million.
I can right now.
The crazy guy in North Carolina that wants to walk into a school.
You can't stop the individual like just popping out of the society. with-
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Unless you fix society.
That's what I was going to say.
Ooh.
The next step in that metamorphosis, we're trying with equality and those sorts of things.
Yep.
Right? And I always see to a much larger picture, which isn't always good because I don't always have the best of conversations with, equality people. But anyway, I was thinking today,
Tell us.
equality for what?
Okay. Equality for, like, what do you mean?
Equality
Equality for
what
people, or equality to what end?
Equality for people,
Okay.
and it always comes down, a lot of times to equality of outcome. And equality of outcome always comes down to what you have a lot of times.
Sure.
A lot of times, whether it be education,
voting rights,
where you live, voting rights,
equality of voting,
the amount of money you have,
quality of income,
income equality.
Like that, yeah.
Well, none of those speak to equality to me. When you rattle off those points, those are not equal between different people in our society.
Well, no, I know they're not equal.
Right.
That's not what I'm saying, but...
So we're striving for that, is what you're saying.
Right. That's in people's minds when they... Maybe not. This is just the viewpoint I'm kind of seeing, is the end game is...
That everybody makes the same amount and has the...
Kind of, but...
I don't see that as really realistic, though.
No, I don't think it is, but...
Well, I mean...
At what
if
point...
If we're talking classical liberalism, it's... it is equality. It is a fair shake for everyone, and...
Right.
Everybody has the same.
So how do you get past the thing where I worked this hard to get where I am? You know what I mean? How do you get past that conversation where I did this?
The incentive.
Okay. I did this, therefore I have this.
Yeah, you transform the incentive.
But now,
right.
are you?
That's
are you
what I'm trying to say.
Are you coming from the perspective of someone who is above or below the?
Below.
It shouldn't matter. So if we're talking about equaling the leveling the playing field, then it shouldn't matter where you're starting off. Everybody should have the same footing. So
should,
but
correct. we still aren't there yet.
No,
yeah,
we're nowhere near that.
Exactly. But even if you have the same footing, one person will be better at the job, and then the other, and will eventually make more. Yeah, in a free market.
But what happens when there is no jobs?
Right.
So what happens when we are able to automate just about everything?
What becomes the incentive when your paycheck is not the incentive?
Oh, like what drives you to do things when you don't make any money?
Yeah.
When money is not...
When money... Not when you don't make any money, but when all of a sudden...
When all your needs are taken care of, basically?
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't need to... The roof is over your head. Your belly is full. Your kids are taken care of. What makes you do anything after that, right? Okay. Well, I think Wall-E showed us that a lot of society would just sit in chairs and drink their shakes and not do much and turn into floating blobs. And I think a lot of people would choose that.
If you won the lottery today, is that what you would do?
Fuck no. Because I've got artistic pursuits.
Right.
I've got
So
ambitions.
how many people do you think, if they won the lottery today, would sit around watching TV all day, eating whatever they want, and drinking milkshakes?
They'd probably do that day one.
Yeah, I mean, well, no, that would probably settle down to that. Like, they might travel a bunch, but if they don't have genuine, like, artistic pursuits or something like that, or something creative to drive them, eventually they'd be like, all right, well, I've traveled a bunch, now I just want to sit down and not do much.
And why is that a problem?
Oh, it's not a problem.
Right. So the factor of boredom also, you don't think people who get bored find different ways to express themselves and learn?
I think we're going to produce enough media to keep people from being bored. There's always going to be something to watch, something new to experience. So
in that scenario, you've got everything you need in life, plus, it's not bare bones. It's comfortable living, right?
It would serve me.
Right?
In
so
that
everybody's
situation.
comfortable, and everybody has the choice to do whatever they want every day, because...
But then society as a whole would have to change as well. You'd have to start...
There'd be a massive change.
You'd have to start doing things like actually curing cancer and actually feeding people the types of foods that...
So what you just said was the pursuit to cure cancer is the pursuit of of monetary gain.
Yeah.
The guy who invented the polio vaccine gave it away for free.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember reading about that.
So
Then why
Because it's
do we all have
different
polio?
now. It's probably a little bit different
well,
now.
so
it is
to,
now,
so
that's
to
for sure.
To implement a system where the economy was working for everybody and commerce were a thing of the past, and we don't have jobs and everything was taken care of, that would be a massive value shift, correct? So
you'd have to devalue all the things
Well, I mean, our
we've ever
values
known.
would change. Our values would shift to something that fit that scenario.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think curing disease would be
No, I do.
thought of as
for sure. No,
something worth your day to do?
No, I do.
If you
I'm
had
just
that skill
saying.
set?
I'm just saying you can't. Those things.
Like, what I'm saying
are-
is the cure of disease and major societal problems.
They go together.
Well, they aren't contingent of immediate monetary gain. They're not, people aren't going
you're
into
right.
the sciences to make money.
Right.
I think they're going into any field because they have to go into a field in order to make money. But we've never actually seen a society that never needed to support themselves. They had everything they ever needed.
Well,
So we're
where
not
services and goods weren't monetized.
Well, I mean, going back from the beginning of man up until
everything
even
was
now,
traded for something.
everything was about traded, and also you had to work for something in order to support yourself. Like we don't actually have
your services or goods were traded for your whatever you wanted.
to have a house, to have food.
Right.
We what you're saying is there's stuff there that I would absolutely agree with, that, but I wonder how accurate it is. Like I wonder how many people would still be in the science world if they had no need to go into any field at all. How many people just chose science because they're like, well, I have some scientific interest, but I have to have a field. Because I need money. I need to be.
So
a
I'll
part
go
of
back to
society.
the scenario of everybody sitting on their couch.
Yeah.
How long would that last? Not very long, in my opinion. In my mind, as
In what scenario, though?
well,
like-
if all needs were taken care of
Uh-huh.
and everybody was comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
not wanting, if want and need were taken care of,
You don't think there'd just be
there
a
would
bunch
be
of
watching
people
TV
loafing,
and,
watching
yeah, there'd be people
Ellen?
loafing, but there'd also be people not wanting that out of life.
Yeah.
That
Well,
would-
I agree. There's always going to be people who have a certain drive.
yeah,
Whether
and have
it's-
ideas that want to be expressed.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still certain factors like
But I wonder what the
like
percentage
celebrity or recognition or things like that. Even as shallow as that may be, it's still a drive, and that doesn't necessarily lead to monetary gain, but that does lead to a sense of purpose.
would be. Yeah.
So
I'm wondering what our society would really look like, and how many would fit into that, and how many would just be like, I don't need it, so I just continue watching my favorite TV shows or continue.
Well, I
reading.
think a lot of those things would also have to go away. Like I think
TV
pop
and stuff.
culture and
Oh, yeah.
you know,
You don't-
television and those sorts of things would begin to diminish in that sort of world. you
yeah,
know?
so think of how all of pop culture and our daily intake is based on the monetary system.
Mm-hmm.
So you eliminate the need for monetary gain and everything that revolves around that. Think of everything else that shifts, and that's what I'm talking about as far as value shifts.
But you were saying that people would still have the drive, even for a vain recognition sense. Actors would still want to be actors. Directors would still want to direct.
If the
and writers
entertainment
would still, they would,
industry existed still.
yeah.
So this is all
think
speculation.
If
so-
we lost monetary and all that stuff, the industry wouldn't exist like it does today. But there would
course
still
not.
be movies. There'll still be play. There'll still be people producing their art because that's their passion.
Mm-hmm.
If the motivation's still there, if the people still have that need to express themselves, it would be an industry, but it would be different. It would be more just like an independent industry.
Well, to supplement that idea, think of how many starving artists are out there. How many people are pursuing their passion projects and not making any money.
A lot more than there are in the
people making money.
Yeah.
Right? So that gives credence to what I'm saying, is that people are more driven by their passion than monetary gain. So you take out the need for need, the need for want, the monetary gains, and people are still driven. People aren't just sitting on the couch playing video games and watching
TV. People may be less driven because they have to make money.
Well, the problem is
That's
there are a lot of people who don't have the passions. They don't have that thing. Even if
so, what?
What
You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is let them live their life how they want.
Yeah.
So why can't we take care of them also? Why is that a bad thing? That we can't take care of the people who don't want to contribute? Why is that a bad thing?
Well, I'm not sure it is, but I definitely know the argument there would be why should we take care of somebody who doesn't want to contribute?
That's based on a false fallacy of there's not enough of there's scarcity in the world.
Artificial
There's
scarcity.
Plenty to go around. All right, if we do it right, if we allocate resources correctly,
I don't think that's what you're saying, though. Why
well,
should
what
anyone
I'm
deserve
saying
it?
is
that what you're saying? Kind of.
Well,
why should they have a piece of the pie?
If you got a lazy person laying around and they're not contributing to society, why do they get the benefits of society?
Sure.
Right? So why not, though? If there's enough, that attitude is based on there's not enough to go around. So if you want what you need, then you need to go earn it, right?
Yeah.
But if enough is there to go around,
and
why do they need to earn it?
And if we have, as you started this whole thing off, a sufficiently automized system, where people aren't actually toiling to produce the stuff, because then
that might not necessarily be vital to this, but it can definitely, if there weren't
if
blockages on profit and a need to constantly bring in profit for people who aren't contributing, like stockholders and things like that, then technology has free reign to expand. So if it's just the idea of ideas, and if it's just a matter of resources, like heavy metals that need to go into technology that does these jobs, you know what I'm saying, like plastics and different physical resources. If we demonetize those and demonetize the idea of creating, then how do we keep from expanding? Like where's the inhibitants on expansion?
The idea I'm having is, if we got to a point where robots took care of all of this stuff, and you didn't actually have people toiling to support the system where people can do whatever they want, because when you have people toiling in a job that you know that they probably don't want because they're not following their passions, they have to clean the floors. But if you don't have robots doing all that yet, then the argument of saying, well, this person should be free to do nothing and still take all the benefits. It's hard to tell that person who's toiling that it should be okay, even though there's enough for everybody.
Because you are working in a job where your skills are valued, you're being paid for your skills that you worked hard to develop, and you're valued. You feel a sense of accomplishment, and the person that flips burgers that can be automated in tomorrow isn't on the same level of commitment in society as you.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm saying any job where a person has to do something that they don't necessarily want to do. If you until you have a completely robotic system that does all of that, then we could have the conversation of, well, maybe we could just let anybody follow whatever passions they want. But until then, I think it's very hard to argue that a person should be allowed to just sit on the couch all day and do nothing and reap all the benefits while people are still having to do their own work. In the bright future in the bright future you described, it would be fine because everybody's just following their passions. But if you have people who have to do the labor work and they don't want to,
Define labor work.
Any kind of labor work that a machine isn't doing. Any job that a machine isn't doing just yet. If somebody has to do that.
So why haven't we automated everything yet? Why haven't we automated manual labor yet? We can build a house completely automated. That's been done.
I think that we could automate
we could take the
anything.
trash off the streets.
We could automate almost anything in a lab, but just throwing a machine into the yard and having it build a house all on its own.
We could send a person to a moon. We can't automate society's menial labor.
We will eventually. We will.
Of course we will.
Yeah.
Of course we will.
I'm saying until then,
so let's plan for when we will.
What do you mean plan for?
So you're saying in the scenario where I'm going to work and doing all this crap that I don't
because
wanna
there
do,
are a few jobs that
and
humans
somehow-
still have to do, right?
Yeah.
As long as there are a few jobs that humans have to do, and it isn't a passion job, you're never going to get away with saying you have to do it because it has to be done. But these guys don't do anything.
Well, you're also assuming that these menial jobs are eventually going to be a choice because automation comes about. It's the other way around.
No. It's not about a choice.
These jobs will be taken away.
I agree.
Right.
I'm saying until they're taken away.
Until they're taken away, then we're living in the day we are today.
Exactly. Yeah.
So what I'm saying is we need to prepare for the time that automation comes to the level that
I think there's
that we
zero,
can take the trash off the
there's zero
streets, that we can build a
preparation we need to
house.
Automation will come or it won't. There's no preparation we need to do to
But
prepare
capitalism
for that.
will fail if there's not enough people earning.
Let it fail when that happens.
Yes, and we need a plan in...
We don't. When capitalism fails, they'll know right then and there that we need to do something different. You don't need to have...
well, then yes,
you don't need to have a new
we should
system.
probably plan then.
You don't
right?
need to have a whole new system in place just yet.
Shouldn't we just not kind of leave it up to chance?
Well, the thing is...
We should
plenty
have
of
an idea in
planning
mind,
going
be
on.
like, yeah, this is going to happen in 40 to 60 years as most people are predicting.
The problem
that
is you
50% of the jobs are going to be automated in 40 to 60 years.
Because you still don't know for certain what society would do
Well,
when
of course
everything
you
is
don't
automated.
know the future, but you need to plan for it because there's a very likely possibility that...
I disagree. I say just let the chaos happen.
Well, then fine. Fucking elect Trump and, let it all burn to hell.
That's what you said.
I did say that.
The truth is...
And it's working out great.
It all won't burn to hell. It will all solidify into something that does work.
Or we could have a plan.
No, don't have a plan.
All right, well, fuck it then.
Plans will only get your ass hurt.
We should have a plan for the kind of system we would like in the eventual future where...
Okay. We're talking about this plan. We've gone on and on and on about this
Circles.
stuff. This is hilarious. You find young people, old people who absolutely hate their jobs. They hate their lives. But they stick to this idea. They stick to it. They absolutely stick to it. I know plenty of young people where I come from that stick to it.
Well, because they're
What idea are
lazy
you talking
millennials, right? They're
well-
lazy,
No, I'm
entitled
talking
millennials
That's not
who
what
don't
I'm
want to
saying.
work
No,
for what...
no. You didn't hear what I said. You missed what I said.
I'm being sarcastic.
Okay. People that hate working.
Facetious.
I do.
Hey,
I hate working.
They hate.
I don't know
but
a human being
They stick to
I've
their
ever
guns
met
when it comes to lazy people.
because it's a value system, and I will bring
How
you
do
back
you-
to a shift in values.
How do you change a person like that
'Cause
to
you-
understand
You show
the
them a
conversation we're
better
having?
way.
You have to wait for them to die.
No, because there's still Republicans being bred every day. So
Yeah, but they're
You
being
need-
bred into a world where they can see certain things changing. Like a lot of Republicans, the new Republicans are being born.
it's
they're-
too slow of a change for
Well,
me. It's too slow.
This kind of change will be slow.
And the fact that the need will far supersede the
I agree.
the
That's
change.
that's one of the reasons that I think that we don't have to plan for it, because the need will force people to see when it's a need.
If we don't have a plan, if we don't have a system in place, then we go to like some fucking 80s dystopian
no,
movie.
because
no, then we go to like
the government will crash in a fairly slow way. They will give people a chance.
If the
to
American
build something
dollar
new.
crashes, it won't be slow.
It'll be so slow. It'll be wonderful.
What I want to know is, we know what's going on.
I know nothing.
Do we?
There's a
What do
lot
you know?
that we know.
What do you know, Joe?
There's a lot of juices.
What do you know?
Knowledgeable juices in this room.
Oh, good God.
How do you approach this conversation, even to a young person, a millennial, who is hell bent
You can't.
on work?
You just can't.
Who is
You
There's-
show them a
there-
better way.
okay?
No, they won't
That's
see
what
it.
I'm asking you.
You can.
They won't see.
Everybody
How-
can be convinced.
How
No,
do you,
no, they can't.
How do you bring this?
You can't
up
convince me.
to
You
someone
can't convince me that nobody can ever convince.
to someone
Bet I can.
who still thinks that you win if you die with the most toys. Young people.
Okay, look.
Young people.
Let them have that then. Okay, so
How do you talk to them?
why
Where
do you need to
start?
talk to them?
Because they're in our fucking way.
Well,
the guns out.
So if the system fails, then all their monetary gain goes to shit.
I know that.
So
But why not open
then
the
what
door
I'm
to
saying
new
is
ideas?
start the cult now. Have the idea in mind. Have a following now, and when the followers need to sign on, then
All
they'll
of a
sign
sudden.
on.
I think you have to lead by example.
It's always
And
good
I
to
can't.
challenge somebody.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, always.
Show them a system that works, and they'll eventually be like, "Well, it works better for you. Maybe I should change."
Yeah.
But like just through argument, some of those people you're never going to be able to convince. They have to see it working,
And that's what I'm saying.
and sometimes years will go by before they actually finally accept what they're seeing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
well, yeah, it's not going to be easy because you have to have the system working
Right.
for them. Because it can't just be on paper. It can't be all argument. Because
Here's
some of
the-
them will just
here's
they'll
the-
never accept it.
Here's the thing: the problem I have with the idea of letting the system fail before something new comes up
Yeah.
is, imagine the dollar failing. Imagine the strife and just the chaos in the world.
I have a
If-
dark
if-
suspicion that I would thrive in anarchy.
Okay, so go to Walmart, get your chainsaw and all, but it's not going to happen. Like,
Oh.
it will be nothing but.
Are you saying I don't get to thrive?
I don't think anybody will thrive except for
Somebody will.
the most vicious.
You should
and-
watch Mad Max. Yes, the most vicious,
Yes.
most clever.
So that's not the society
Yeah.
we're working for.
For a brief
We're
period.
Not,
That's
we're
where
not
I'll
looking
shine.
for 1,000 years of hell to go back to a system where we learn what happened wrong. We want a system in place immediately. Immediately.
It won't work
Why not?
because it can't be done. A
Why?
transition like that is impossible. It's never worked in the
Why?
history of the world.
What? There's never been a transition. What are you
Oh,
talking
there's
about?
been plenty. There's been
No,
Rome
it's always been a
fell.
monetary system.
No, Rome fell, and you had just the church
How'd
trying
they
to
pay for
hold
things in
What?
Rome? How'd they pay for things?
Oh, slaves mostly. It seems.
No, how did, if you wanted a thing of silk, how'd you go get it?
Gold.
Yeah,
Gold.
monetary system.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I'm
It's
so-
always been the same system
Yeah.
for millennia. So
I'm talking. Listen,
so
I'm talking
what
about
I'm saying
systems
is
in general.
we don't have an example of a shift of system. It's always been the same system.
That version. When
Yes,
you're
it's
t-
all.
when
I'm
yeah.
talking about demonetizing
Yeah,
society.
I'm saying-
so. That's not a
All
different
right.
version.
Yeah, but I disagree. I think that a system if you're talking about monetization or you're talking about system of government, is still a system. I've never seen one system transition smoothly to another. It's always been
it's always been a little.
It's always been a crash, then chaos, and then something builds up from the other side.
Yeah, it's always been the same system.
But you're still playing semantics.
No, I'm really not. I'm so far from semantics. I'm talking about a monetary system, which is all we've ever known. If we're trading colorful
dictatorship
blocks.
And republican, those
how
are
they
those
pay
are
for
systems.
resources.
No, hold on.
How they pay for resources
I'm talking,
in a dictatorship,
I'm talking
monarchy.
about the word system.
Yeah.
It does not mean financial system. Financial
Of course,
system
it means
is
a lot of things.
financial system is a system, but I'm talking about fuck that. Just look at the word system. You have systems of government.
Yeah.
You have systems of politics. You have systems of
Societal systems.
When those systems,
I think if we demonetize resources, we wouldn't need government.
probably, yeah.
So,
But it's you think that just because financial is a system that we've never seen any system crash and change, but we have. It just hasn't been the financial system. It's been
we've seen the financial system crash many times.
not in the way that you're talking about.
systems.
We're not talking. We're talking about because when a financial system crashes,
I'm not even talking about the stock market. I'm
yeah.
talking about empires falling.
Yeah, but
like their currency being worthless.
You're contradicting yourself though, because you said when Rome fell, you still had things to pay for things. You went back to the
it was
barter
still the
system.
same system.
Exactly.
Right.
But I'm not talking about the financial system. I'm talking about governments. I'm talking about systems of government. When those things change, it's chaos. Always.
Okay. That doesn't supersede what I was saying.
It does.
It doesn't.
It
what
wins,
I'm saying, if we shift from a monetary system, which is the only system we've ever known,
Yeah.
to
Of finances.
what else would... Yeah, monetary system is financial.
There we go.
Right. So, you're being...
So if you switch from that, which
if
we've never
you
done,
shift out of a monetary... If you switch out of monetizing resources and go to just a need-based economy, just a resource-based economy.
Give me a root beer.
Right. Then again, value shift, your mindset shifts, and you move into a totally different way that society operates.
How do you?
I agree.
Are you talking about the
different.
transition? That's what we're getting at. I think.
And
I don't
the
actually remember what we're
transition
talking about
could be
anymore.
smooth or it could not. We could go through massive trials and massive war, and I mean, it could go to a Mad Max scenario.
So do you just do
and
it?
we could totally forget the solution before we even learn the lesson, or we could have the contingency plan in place for when the dollar fails, for when
work.
capitalism fails.
It wouldn't work.
Why? You don't have any evidence to say it wouldn't. You don't have.
So-
I don't have any evidence to say it would.
So okay,
Because we don't have any.
here's the question: what happens when it does?
Well,
I think that's the question.
When you
it's
have a future where everything is already kind of being run by robots, and it's almost like, how would you even decide when that point is that you're not working? I mean, it would be so gradual. It would almost be It almost wouldn't actually have to be a deliberate choice when everything's just being transitioned into automation. Like, when would that point be where?
But now you're coming back to labor. You're talking about labor.
I'm actually not even making a point anymore. I'm just speculating. I'm just thinking like when would the it's almost like, what's the point of even bothering with it? If we're into that future.
If you won the lottery tomorrow, would you just kill yourself? You'd be like, what's the point?
No.
Exactly.
No. I would.
If every need
Maybe
and
you
want,
guys aren't
if every need
on
and
the
want were taken
same
care
wavelength
of,
here.
what would you do tomorrow?
No, the question is when would that point be when you sort of suddenly, because it wouldn't be just like you wake up and realize all my needs are taken care of. Like in society, I'm not talking about individual. I mean, like, when would that point be where the government's like, all right, we got to figure out, we have to transition from monetization to free resources. It's like
Government would fail before that.
all right, but but then that's what I'm saying. If
The idea
it would
needs to be out there.
It would be
The
so
idea-
gradually. It almost, you don't even need a system to do it. It'd just be like you just sort of wake up 100 years later and go, when did that stop where we weren't being paid for? I mean, it would happen here. It would happen there.
So is the argument you're making negate my point though?
Yeah, absolutely, it does.
So you're saying since there's no smooth transition that it couldn't work?
Yeah. No,
You
because,
saying that it couldn't work, or there would be mass hysteria?
I would like to state right now
Burning.
that I have no idea what would happen. But on a theoretical level, it's almost like, why plan for it? Because if we're building a future that's already automating, it's like I almost think that it would happen.
Why
like
not plan for
well,
it?
because when would that happen? When would it be where you say we have this plan,
Yeah.
now we're going to implement it? I mean, it's almost like it would just be. It would happen so gradually that it would
Okay.
just one day exist and it wouldn't require a plan.
Terrific. That sounds great.
All
Let's
right.
do that.
Now let's move on to the next topic.
All right.
Okay.
No plans needed. I win. All right. So
No, the plan is in place and it's set naturally because of need.
well, there you
Because,
go. Then
because
it's not a plan.
system fails and we have a contingency in place.
No,
The
it wouldn't be like
contingency
that.
is wide known, it's
So-
accepted, and it's planned for.
Here's what I want to know: do you plan for it, or
Yes.
do you?
Yeah, you plan for it.
Do you plan
Period.
for it and then start to gradually implement it, or do you just wait?
And who's they? If you said the government fails, who's implementing it?
Is it something that gradually happens?
It would be a value shift.
Well,
So
I agree. It
I
would
will go
definitely
back
be a value
to
shift.
I will go back to the original point of it needing a drastic value shift. So
But wouldn't
Yes, the
wouldn't a
system.
value shift happen in society gradually? I mean, it wouldn't just be like one day all of your values changed. It'd be like, well, because they wouldn't just suddenly give you all the money in the world.
right. So if you know the stove is hot, you're not going to touch the stove, right?
That's right, man.
Right. We learn from past mistakes, right?
Yeah.
So the optimism behind this philosophy is that we learn from past mistakes. And since we have an idea in place that is widely enough known, that is ubiquitous enough,
It's known. That means we know.
that enough people subscribe to this kind of thought, that we would know what to do when the stove is hot. When the dollar fails, we know that was fucked up how we lived. We all fought and died over resources. How about we do it this way that we've been planning for forever?
Yeah, but if we already had the infrastructure, all the robotic, everything is automated. If we already had all of that in place, who's going to work? I mean, who's society wouldn't be failing on day one. It would be just like they would already sort of be transitioning. Like the people would.
So
That's what I'm saying. It
Great.
wouldn't be
that's a plus, right?
it wouldn't be a system you had to implement. It would just be people would be living a different
Hey,
way.
terrific.
There you go.
Great segue
Man,
into the new system. Great.
Thank you. But it's
Maybe-
not a plan.
Well, yeah, help me on my point then.
All right.
On that note, I gotta take a leak.
Oh, Joe.
Me too.
And that might have to come back on, even just the fan,
Yeah, it's hot.
because I'm souping. Oh, God, I might not even be able to get out of this chair.
I'm almost worried if I should stop this.
You can hit pause. In the conversation go, letting
Are
the
you recording?
momentum of the conversation, do its thing.
Joe, if
There's
you
no reason
had,
to run
if,
into
if
things.
you were to be the king of the world,
Okay.
King Joe.
If you say, as if I've already not.
The Ginger King, as they would call you.
Yeah.
what system of society would you like to implement?
Oh, God.
Remember, I've got to be a part
Well-
of it, a large part.
Okay, first of all, we make a mold of his ass and cast iron.
You have to have it.
And that.
Pinky's ass.
Yeah. Well,
Is there a currency made out of that?
think it's just cast iron.
No, you couldn't put a currency to it. It would be beyond finances.
So what would your perfect society be?
Well, I've
Joe?
always been one to, get behind the thoughts and ideas of Jacques Fresco,
Yeah.
which goes a lot deeper than just money. It goes into
Well, the beginning.
Is that about
the
butt
beginning
fucking?
of the
it's butt plugs and stuff like
Okay.
that. Yeah,
the beginning of the Jupiter project is the demonetization of resources.
the Venus Project. But yeah,
Yeah,
Whatever.
Venus.
The Jupiter Project is putting out some beautiful images.
but yeah.
I just watched. What was it?
God's name is happening out my window.
The Netflix Lost in Space series.
Oh, I haven't watched
Season
it.
one.
Well, I started the first episode.
No spoilers.
So good.
I stopped when she
Anyway,
fell
their
into the
spaceships
lake.
are called Jupiter. I think that's where you. Anyway, so
No,
Venus project.
right. Well, there's a lot more involved in that sort of society. We touched on the monetary system and that sort of thing, and then there's another guy named Gabor Mate, who's a Hungarian physician and pretty much a modern philosopher in my book, I guess. But
What does he say?
well, a lot of what he touches on is human nature and how society has taught us about at least two of what they think human nature is.
Which is
My
what
argument
exactly?
is we don't really know what human nature is.
We really don't.
Okay, so
But-
we don't know what human nature is outside of a scarcity scenario.
Yeah,
True.
a need-based scenario.
Right.
True.
But in
At
that
the deepest-
system, we can see a lot of habits that just don't go away.
But you're making a causation argument. So
Agreed, but
so-
it's a causation argument that you've seen. No matter how society looks, as long as there's that, you can still see people falling into the same patterns.
so take the cause out.
Yeah, well, you don't know if that is the cause. We
Exactly.
believe it is.
That's the experiment.
Yeah, let's do that.
The experiment is that humans are inherently caring, loving, selfless.
Well, we don't know that either. Do we?
Well,
I bet there's gonna be a large
we see
spectrum of
it.
people.
We see it often
Well,
in our world. We see much of it.
See it. We
Well,
see
there's
a
an
lot of
argument
it.
to be made
but-
that every quote-unquote selfless act is selfish.
Yeah.
Well, that is true. There's
to
the perception
garner love,
argument
to
too.
garner respect.
Right.
to
There's
garner-
the reasoning, behind the acts also. But
Even self-esteem, or like
But do we
the,
know where-
the idea of filming yourself giving $20 to a homeless man
Yeah.
and posting it
Right.
to
That's a
Facebook.
selfless act.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
fucking
right.
bullshit.
But that's another part of this system that we've been
Man,
talking
I
about.
feel so good when I see those videos. Like that
Oh, I
person
know.
cares about nothing but that homeless person and feeding
right,
the person.
right,
That's why they took the photo out.
right. So, all right.
Well, so there's what we have now.
I'm not an expert on karma
Uh-huh.
in any sense, but I argue that that the Western definition of karma is wrong.
One good deed earns another. That kind of thing.
You add up experience points for your good deeds, right?
Okay, yeah.
So it's not a system of points. It's if you're doing anything selfishly, it's still bad karma, quote unquote. So if you're giving $20 to a homeless man because it makes you feel good because you're counting those karma points, then it counts against you,
Meh, I mean,
right?
it certainly could.
A true expression of positive energy. Mm-hmm. So a true release of positive vibrations, whatever new age bullshit you want to say, should be completely selfless. I don't know if that is even possible.
yeah.
Like you should have no thought in giving everything you own to a homeless human being who has nothing.
Yeah.
Give all your worldly possessions that you've worked so hard for to somebody in need without even a second thought. I don't know. Obviously that's not possible.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I think, in all these sort of religions and ideas and philosophies, they have to sort of account for human nature. They have to account for the fact that people might not be able to live up to all that. So there's maybe a built-in system that says,
it's a guidebook.
well, yeah, it's like, all right, karma works even if you're doing it for selfish reason, as long as you have given something to somebody. That's a point, even though
Right.
you can. But what?
And I'll say,
Yeah.
I'll
Like, why are we
say,
talking
so
about
so
karma?
here, let's say Donald Trump gives $20,000 to a homeless shelter,
He's a generous man.
but he's doing it for tax reasons.
Yeah, he's a generous man.
That's
Oh, yeah.
plus one karma.
How did we get on karma?
Because probably to the extent that you say that homeless shelter now has $25,000 and they needed it.
That's
you
just
know?
a universal
Yeah.
positive, but
Yeah,
is that
kind of.
really attributed
Well,
to his
is that
goodwill?
really, quote unquote, really what's real? We're talking about karma.
Well,
So it's
shit,
kind of
that's
like,
real.
yeah, it's like you gotta
Shit.
maybe make some exceptions for
I
things not being real or just.
I think we got on
rolling
this
with it.
from the human nature discussion.
Oh, yeah. How did that
maybe.
happen?
Well, I don't know how it
You were
happened.
talking about Che Guevara's pubic hairs.
Were you? Don't
No.
you have a
I
Shea poster down there? You fucking
Well, you
communist.
guys don't want to know.
Fucking socialist.
No, so what was that
You
system
commun-
you're talking about? You
Get a
I
job,
do
you
wear drab
socialist.
clothing.
Oh yeah, you're a rebel.
No, what I was trying to say was there was a couple of systems, not systems, but studies that were done about human nature a long time ago, 40s and 50s. There was one where you take anybody from a young age, they're a clean slate,
Yeah,
and you make them what you want them to be.
how'd those
You
turn
know.
out?
Well, they proved to have a lot of positive feedback. Not positive, but
Like they were generous, they were helpful.
Not necessarily, but you can essentially, from a young age, you can program an individual.
Well, I know that.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
And then and that's one idea of human nature is that there's nothing. You're a clean slate.
Oh, I
you can
see.
turn an individual into whatever. And then there's ours, a capitalistic society, and all of our nature is competitive and personal gain. That's
Yeah.
all we know. But then there's a third view of human nature.
But if that's how we grew up, you and I, and
Right.
how do we have different values? I'm assuming
Well-
you have different values.
Well-
how do I have different values from that?
From what? The capitalistic
How am I not a
society?
capitalist? If
I'm
that's
not
the
saying-
society I grew up in.
Well,
Well, you are.
I'm not saying I'm not
you
saying that
go to
you
work.
are. I'm
Because I
saying
have to.
Exactly.
I'm
That's
just
not
saying
being a capitalist.
I'm
oh,
saying
you're
that's
a bad
the
capitalist.
one
I'm an awful capitalist.
that we
I'm
live
an
in.
awful Jew.
That's the one we live in. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that everyone that lives in it
What was the third one?
subscribes to
The third outcome. The third.
that idea of thinking. The third one is the one where humans, well, like I was saying earlier, are inherently generous and loving, and
Okay.
at our very nature, we're probably pretty damn selfless in many ways.
Well, so that goes back to the karma discussion. So, yeah.
But do you?
So no,
What would you say?
I would say that on a utilitarian aspect, yeah, we all want everybody around us to be happy because that makes us happy, and we want to make other people happy.
And it
because that makes
reduces hostility, it reduces conflict, and it makes everybody's life a little better.
far more utilitarian.
Yeah.
Correct. So just on a basic level, that we just don't like conflict.
guys missed the fox in my backyard.
Because conflict ends up leading to loss of life / resource,
Yeah.
then yeah, we want everybody to be happy. So yeah, I guess that's ingrained
Now, Joe,
in
that's
us.
the thing that you said that
Yeah.
the third option was everybody is inherently good or generous.
Well-
because I'm thinking a newborn baby, the first
Yeah.
thing they're doing is feed me. They're taking milk
Right.
from their mother.
Right.
I mean, it's like that's sort of like the instinct is yourself. It's not
There's-
selflessness.
Well,
right?
there's instinct in that way. You know,
Yeah.
the need to survive.
yeah,
there's
that seems
obviously
pretty deep rooted.
those instincts, but I don't think anyone grows up in their natural mind, like in gathering societies in other parts of the world compared to ours.
Uh huh.
You know, and maybe this is just another form of teaching a society, but there's a lot less of what we go. There's not the competition. There's not the belittling of people in society or those sorts of things. It's all based on a togetherness and unity. You know what I mean?
What's your example?
My example of that society,
or the guy's example.
Well, I don't know if I have one right off the top of my head, but I know in like hunter-gatherer societies across the board, a lot of these ideas exist inside those societies.
So there's an idea that society has grown too integrated, right?
Yeah,
so
it definitely is.
That we aren't used to living in such large societal groups that we're still acclimated to
tribal life.
Village life, right? So,
sure.
2,000 people, 2,500 people max, right? So you have a smaller society that, when you start introducing 7 billion human beings into a society,
right? And I saw this conversation before online not too long ago.
Yeah, that it ends up being a little far too many factors to factor in that.
I'm not saying that
uncontrollable.
It's a way to live our lives as in size-wise, but we've been so all I'm really saying is we've been so programmed that it's a continuous dog-eat-dog world.
Well, I'm thinking
the United States.
I'm envisioning, like, let's go back to the Native American Indians and their tribe time before we came over. I could still envision some sort of competition between people in there. Some sort of I want to be the best warrior. I want to be the best hunter. I want to win the chief's daughter. I want to. It's like there even in those simple societies, there's a competition that drives you to be better.
I think so.
Yeah,
and can lead some to treachery and selfish cause.
Maybe we need to relegate what good competition versus aberrant competition are. So which I guess would come down to outcome. So outcome of the loser, maybe of said competition. So
still gets a blowjob.
Yeah, right. Winner gets blowjob, and
no, the loser gets a blowjob.
Loser gets a blowjob. Oh,
the winner gets full on.
What's better than a blowjob?
Right.
Oh, that's true, man. All right, let's change that.
A blowjob and $10.
Loser gets a hands job. The winner gets a blowjob.
So everybody wins. It's a win. It's a win.
Yeah.
Smaller win. So yeah, I mean, if it weren't.
I mean, it's kind of like that.
If it weren't
a
competition between somebody getting executive producer of X company versus dude goes on the street.
Yeah, but we rarely see that now. It's still like two people within a company. They're both shooting for the executive seat. One isn't going to go into homelessness. The other's just going to stay where they are, making reasonable amount of money. And the other guy is going to get the big seat.
Sure.
So I mean, yeah. Like most of our competition isn't about I'll be destitute. It's more just
who goes.
I mean, yeah, it's
who
all
takes
just
the next
degrees.
step.
Well, that's true. But let's take it away from the 1-1 known factors. So let's take it to the 1% versus the rest of us. So I don't even know what the value system of the 1% is, because it's just like consolidate everything beyond what you need, even for a wonderfully exuberant life.
Oh yeah,
their wealth goes so far beyond that. It's just like,
well, obviously, there's statistics and numbers to back up who the 1% of society are, but I don't know.
We don't know.
But what is the mentality of the small handful of corporations like the Rothschilds, like those families that have so much beyond just wild wealth?
So I heard one good definition was, or not definition, but one good describer was if you personally have enough wealth that your grandchildren don't need to work, like if you could pass your wealth down 2 generations, that
seems reasonable to me, right? If we all want to be rich, that would be a level where we'd be like, that's good.
But that's
children,
never enough, is it?
Well, I know, but it's like
that it.
But the amount that we're talking about, also these people, well, and I don't know if just corporations as people, but they're definitely run by people.
Are there trillionaires?
I don't know, man.
So
does nobody really fucking care about the future of the world? Like their nonsensical idea of profit at the expense of the resources of the world, the global warming, these energy conglomerates are trying to hide global warming, deforestation of the rainforest. Do they really not care that eventually we're not going to have a habitable
Maybe
planet?
that's why they're funding the Mars projects.
Ah, that's what they're doing with it?
Yeah.
So that's their idea. But even the Mars project doesn't guarantee that there's anything out there for us.
Maybe every dollar needs to be made until it can't be made, and then we
because it really thinks. I mean, if you could just get those guys to communicate together
like
instead of
North
just
and South Korea did.
No, my biggest worry is
let's stabilize the planet with all that money.
My biggest worry is that the rich of the rich, get off this planet, and the rest of us don't.
I guarantee that's their dream.
Yeah,
but there's no promise of that. So it's like, shouldn't they at least hedge their bets and say,
we've got the technology to do it?
Yeah, but shouldn't they at least hedge their bets and say, let's protect this planet also?
Yeah, in the bet hedge, isn't that AI? Isn't that the singularity? Isn't that downloading your consciousness into artificial?
Well, I guarantee you there.
Wait, isn't what?
However, if you can't propagate your genetic code to a new environment off planet, isn't the contingency plan to download your consciousness to live forever?
I am a Rothschild. All right, I'm the head. I have all the money in the world. Right.
Go ahead.
I would hedge my bets. Yes, let's get to Mars. Let's see what we can do out there.
Right.
Let's further AI so that I can upload, because that might be the better alternative. And let's try to find a stable, sustainable way of dealing with this planet if none of those things work. So at least we still have a planet.
But you gotta make money.
Now, are you
definitely gonna be making
Are you
money.
talking about
gotta make money,
when
dude.
you mentioned the planet? Are you talking about the rock? Or
No,
the
no,
people
no.
on the planet.
I'm talking about the resources that allow us as people to live here.
To live here,
Yeah.
okay.
Because
Because the planet's
So, yeah,
nothing
it's a
without
rock,
us.
then.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a physical planet we live on.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
not worried
No
about.
one's
I'm not
talking
worried
about the
about
planet.
wealth cracking the planet open and having it split and fall into the sun.
Right.
So
I'm
what
talking
about
about
the
just
conspiracy theories
Yeah.
that the Rothschilds, the whoever they are,
The Rothschilds and
The Bilderberg groups and all that stuff. Yeah.
Who's the other guy?
all
Trilateral commission.
the other big
CFR, all the Illuminati motherfuckers.
Yeah, exactly. The
Yeah.
Illuminati.
Okay. So, what about the conspiracy theory that they want to eliminate 80% of the population?
I don't think so.
Well,
That would totally
I bet
go
that
against their
idea's been
plan.
floated,
Like,
right?
yeah, it
Wouldn't
definitely
that
has.
idea has been floated amongst the people who can make it happen.
I could see it both ways. Like, one, it would help them control us, right? It would help them control us. But with all the people out there doing jobs that they hate,
right.
furthering the system, that money's just filtering into them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
so you've got all the money you will ever need, which translates to the resources that you control.
Yeah.
Because that's ultimately what
Because the
you're
paper
doing.
is just paper. But if
right.
you-
So what we're talking about is the resources and land that you control.
yeah.
Okay, so you've got all that you'll ever need. So then you take away the mouths.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that'll be step
how
two,
is that?
right?
If I were in that position, I would float that idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you take away most of
You
those
pull the
people.
plug a little bit.
Because we know
shrink society to something that you can manage.
we know that we're not to the point where we can allocate resources or are willing to allocate resources evenly to make it sustainable
Maybe
for
that's when
for
that
7 billion
society
people.
comes around.
Ah.
When you get rid of 3/4 of it.
No, because the people doing that will be the people profiting off of that. They'll be the people that. No.
The people doing what?
The people propagating whatever event would take place
Right.
to eliminate 80% of.
They're the people that are
populace.
still profiting from the
They're the
people.
people that would be
Not profiting anymore.
Well, that would
Is
be
that what you're saying?
In.
I have breaking news.
Okay.
My foot has been itching lately,
Yeah.
and I
Gold bond.
suspect that this is part
Say
of
Obama?
the virus that they've let out there to take out 80% of the population. I've already got it.
You've done it.
We're doomed. I'm part of that 80. You're probably
Are
not.
we doomed, or
No,
is that
I
a?
am.
I mean, have you seen Infinity War? Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So 50. Spoiler
50
alert.
50%.
Spoiler alert.
So, what were you saying?
What?
Before he talked about his foot.
No, I specifically broke in so he would stop talking.
That's
well,
what I
shit,
thought. I
well,
just
then
wanted him
I'll
to
just
finish
shut
his
up then.
point.
Oh, okay. Yeah, what were you talking about?
I have no idea now.
What were you saying?
Oh,
What?
So
What?
I
The
mean-
thing you were saying.
About your feet.
okay,
Throwing your
so
feet.
so the idea of eliminating 80% or 50% in Thanos's
Damn
um,
Thanos.
Yeah. So hail Thanos. If you were to
Fuck Thanos.
hail Thanos.
Oh, boy.
So
He's a communist.
I mean, half the population gone. How would that be? Anyway, so yeah, if you eliminate 80% of the human beings on Earth down to 250,000.
Your math is better than mine. I just say
No, I mean
more than
that's
five.
not. I'm not doing math from 7 billion. 80% of 77 billion. I'm doing the
Yeah, what are you doing?
regurgitating of the number I've heard that they want.
You're talking
200
about the
maybe I've heard that.
tablets in Georgia?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know about the tablets in Georgia?
The YouTube conspiracy theories say the Rothschilds want 250,000 human beings on Earth.
I love that they actually believe that they have that kind of information.
Well, that and the Earth is flat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I jumped really high the other day, and I did not see a curvature of the Earth.
Right.
It's
You
flat.
guys haven't heard of the guide stones?
Yeah.
Georgia guide
In Georgia.
stones? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's essentially what we're
I
talking
want to go
about.
see that shit. Looks cool.
All right.
Anyway.
So, yeah, you were saying? 250,000?
Well, I think you were asking whether or not that's
In their best interest.
in our best interest.
In our
I was
best
asking
interest.
about them.
Yes,
Of course, it's not in our best interest.
No, it's not.
No, God, no. I know that. I didn't know.
He's putting
I
words
mean-
in your mouth. He's like, Joe wants to kill everybody.
I never fucking said
Joe, you
that.
fucking Hitler.
I knew there was something wrong with you.
You're the one growing a goddamn mustache.
So, yeah,
like,
I mean, so the people who control all the resources
Yeah.
and all the power, of course, they would want less mouths, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
Once they had all the wealth, yeah,
They do have all of
they do.
it. Yeah.
And
Today's the day.
So
I read about it.
How do you make that happen? Is it war? I don't know. Is it controlling the weather?
Yeah,
Is
that'd
it-
be really difficult. Like, I think it would be
is it
multiple
disease?
stages, right? It would be
Of
multiple.
course it could.
It would be first, probably the best way is a big virus that you know you had a control of, right?
Well, you can't have control.
Well, I know, but let's say you knew you had the vaccine. I mean, you were convinced that it wouldn't mutate
Umbrella.
beyond your ability to
No,
vaccinate.
you go off planet.
What?
You
go
Oh,
off
okay.
planet.
Instead of a vaccine, you just go off planet and wait until
go off
the planet dies.
and you let whatever's happening right now
happen.
conclude to its
Oh,
conclude-
that's too long, man. These guys aren't long
Is it?
thinkers.
Are they not? Apparently, if you
Apparently
read the
not.
fucking YouTube conspiracies, they're thousands of years old in the 13 bloodlines.
it's not enough, man. If they were truly long distant thinkers, they would have just stayed here on the planet and made sure that everything was beautiful. But instead, it was always just profit, 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 at the expense of everything. That's short-term vision, man.
Why'd you have to smoke my last cigarette?
Because I gave you a ride.
Good point.
Shit.
Oh, so
We can go get more cigarettes. You need a
really,
cigarette break?
we're going to take a break.
Beer?
And get
Can we
more
take
cigarettes?
this on the road? Can we
We
take the
can.
Sure,
mics?
this will go in the Mazda.
We cannot. But you got all that vaping, right? Is that not servicing you?
I could use a charge.
Do you
Oh
want
my
to use? Do you want to drink more whiskey or do you need beer?
You got beer?
Meat. How about some pizza? That's another thing we could use.
All right, we're stopping. We'll get back later. Food is on the table.
Check, 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 check.
Grigsby.
Butworth.
Grigsby
I hope
Butworth.
we are recording.
I see lines moving on the screen.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking
When I
about
talk.
this thing. I'm recording on 2 levels, my man.
Wow.
I got Audacity,
Whoa.
being audacious.
You do.
Whoa.
And
It's the first thing I noticed about you.
It's
it's
bodacious.
perverse. When we were on the old system, which his old mixer, he was giving us 2 separate channels,
Yeah, fuck that.
and it was nice
Oh,
because
that was awesome.
one
I
channel
remember
was
that. That was
my
great.
mic, the other channel was his mic, and I could edit them.
Now
to my
we're on the
heart's
same
content.
channel.
Yeah,
This is one
yeah, that
solid.
But that's the
channel.
Audacity program recording. On this device, the little mixer, I've got a SD card in there.
And now
that
we can record to the device,
hopefully
right?
is giving me 3 separate channels.
That's nice.
That's my hope.
What? That's
experiment.
crazy, yo.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I've been
Audio
saying.
1-in-1, but 101, but hopefully we actually know what we're doing. We don't.
That's true.
Oh good
You-
God.
There
You
go.
made me think of a Tool song with that comment there. Do you
What?
remember the song?
What'd you call me?
Jimmy from
Yes.
Inema.
Of course.
Oh, what a great tune.
Oh. What was his deal, Jimmy?
Well, you said 1-in-1, and that's a line from
Oh,
the
it
song.
is.
1-in-1,
Yeah.
make one.
Is that
good
really
lyric.
from Inemo?
Yeah,
Because I rarely listen to that album.
Inemo.
I know that line.
that's a great record. You should. Oh no, I've got this.
I like their last
Cinco de
2.
Mayo. We're drinking whiskey PBR. By
Yeah.
the way.
I like the last 2. I like Lateralis and 10,000 Days.
Oh yes, those are both
The,
great.
the ones before that I don't like as much.
Like opiate and
Yeah.
why don't
I don't know, they don't have the same, I guess, sophistication of sound. They sound a little more rocky. A
Yeah,
little more just like we play instruments
right.
and our nipples are hard.
Undertow and opiate.
Yeah.
But you should really look into Inema.
Well, I've heard it a number of times, but it's just not on my playlist, basically.
Oh yeah. See, that's when I think of Tool. That's
Really?
Tool,
That's your
Inema.
tool? That's your
Mhm.
tool?
Yes.
No, for me it's Lateralis for sure, but I do really like their 10,000
Yeah.
Days.
Lateralis and Inema are so close for me. It's-
Interesting.
Yeah, it's Lateralis
So
or
close.
10,000 Days for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Only time I ever saw him live was 10,000 Days tour.
I've never seen them live.
07, I think.
I fear
I
crowds.
saw the Lateralis.
The
tour
only
right after it came
spiritual
out.
experience I ever had was at that concert.
Well, there's a lot of weed going
God.
on, man.
No, I was sober.
No, I know, but there's a lot of weed in the air, and you were not sober. You were high. You just didn't. know it.
No.
I don't know if you can.
No.
Is a contact high a real thing?
No.
Well, if
I mean,
you-
if you're
if you're
hotboxing
stuck
in
in
a
a
car,
car, maybe.
yeah.
Well, if you smoke
No,
in
I was
all
sober.
that. Okay. I would love to go see them.
No, let's hear about that.
Yeah, contact highs.
No, the Tool. How many tampons have you had in your ass?
Oh,
Soaked in
Oh,
that
vodka.
was
shit.
my spiritual existence. Shove them in there. I could get 12.
God.
So yeah, explain what you meant by the spiritual experience with Tool live.
Explain the experience.
Yeah.
All right. So, what I would define as a spiritual existence is like
Experience.
yeah.
We have no
I
existence.
said
I
existence.
ended it.
Yeah. Spiritual experience is some kind of state of mind where you,
Feel transcendent.
yeah,
Yeah.
transcendent is a good word for it. You feel outside of yourself
Yeah.
and your
Mhm.
ego, right?
You almost feel floaty and elevated in a way.
Well, on I guess a peripheral level, a physical level in a way,
Yeah.
but beyond just the physical, you know, you feel transcendence. That was a good word for it. So
you were very, very high.
no, I was sober.
I'm telling you,
I
you
was
were high.
sober.
No, I actually completely understand because we've probably had moments like that with
Oh, sure.
in religion, and I know I've felt versions of that outside, and that's kind of one of the areas that I know that it's all kind of something that can happen regardless of.
Especially in a group dynamic.
Yeah, especially in a group dynamic.
And that's where I'm going with on this.
Ooh.
So
Got it.
Mass
it kinda,
hysteria, basically.
yeah, it's a mass delusion
Yeah.
in a way. Yeah. So it all, it was in stadium setting, right?
Okay.
It wasn't an amphitheater; it was a stadium. So
Open Sky Stadium?
No.
Oh.
Well, what I'm saying, you're surrounded by the stage is surrounded by the audience, the
Okay.
floor seating.
So some of them
Right.
are watching their asses.
I don't know. Well, what
I
I'm
bet they
saying
were.
is like there's a current, right? So you've got a direct conduit, a direct flow, if you were.
It sounds like a circular flow.
Maybe. So what I experienced and what I heard other people, anecdotal stories from other people in from the same concert, saying at the same moment during the same riff of the same song, they all felt the same wave of energy and
Whoa.
whatever you want to define as energy, but we all felt the same kind of
Sort of heavy, sort of tangible almost thing.
yes, sure, yeah.
Like it
That
came
sounds
over
cool. Yeah.
other people at the same time. Not
Yeah.
just you.
So it sounds. I mean, the dude I was with, who went to the concert with, and people we met afterwards and years later, we were like, yeah, we were at the same show. We experienced the same thing. It was all kind of a during a certain 15-minute improv riff. It kind of hit everybody at the same time.
That
The
Wow.
same kind of
is-
transference of energy.
Yeah, because like those guys on stage, they are orchestrating. They are playing off of these emotions and these sounds and these feelings, and they can set the course. They can go up and down with it and push it out, and they can do that.
But it was so identifiable. It was so markable on the clock that it was weird.
Do you ever see
Yeah.
Doctor Strange?
Yeah.
You know how she pushes his spirit man
Yeah.
out, and he flies into the back, and he sort of is that how it felt? Like you could feel yourself going out the back of your skull and sort of seeing yourself there.
That was That was
Interesting.
pretty much.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone I talked to experienced the same thing.
Yeah.
So to me, that's a spiritual experience.
You were astral projecting and you didn't even know it.
Maybe.
Tool forced you into astral projection.
Perhaps.
They should put that on their next tour.
Perhaps, sure.
You ever listen to the song Third Eye
Yes.
on Inema?
Oh,
Yeah, sure.
Surely
that
you
album
have.
again.
Sure.
Yeah, that one comes back. Yeah.
What about it? Oh, it's just that same idea.
Yeah,
It's spiritual. You think maybe
Yeah.
they are playing
Prying
off
open.
occultic theology. Maybe part of their secret power is a praying to the dark gods.
It could be. Danny
Could
Carey walked in on his dad at a young age.
Doing what?
Doing a satanic ritual.
Oh, is that right?
No, he did. That's in his bio.
I never heard that.
But,
What did the ritual involve?
well,
The bio he
swords
wrote
and-
for himself?
yeah,
Okay.
all that stuff.
Interesting.
I'd
But
write the same bio if I were him.
Funnily
Yeah.
enough,
Jeez.
started at 11:11 on Halloween.
What do you mean started out?
That's when they hit record.
Oh, 11. What is 11:11?
Just the time, 11:11.
What does that matter? Oh, but it's just
Mattered
on
to
Halloween.
somebody.
Numerology, dude. Numerology.
What does it mean? What does
It's
it mean in
cultist shit.
numerology?
Well, there's
Is it a
that
special
song
time?
Jimmy. 1 and 1 make 1.
Yeah.
11. I don't know. It's
Oh.
some symbolistic.
I thought maybe
numerology
you.
stuff.
Okay.
But
That sounds. We should research that. Right
So
now.
lateralis
Yeah.
apparently hits on every syllable. Hits the Fibonacci sequence, right?
Oh, cool.
Did you not know that?
I don't know much about music in general. I just know what my ears like.
Do you like Tool?
Yeah, I do like Tool.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice,
they are one of my favorites.
nice.
I just recently got into when I found out that Tool, the lead singer, was in A Perfect Circle.
Yeah, and
I
Pussifer.
really enjoyed their. Is it their first album? The one that's Da Ra Blah Blah.
which album?
I don't know.
Who?
Like, is it their
What
first
band?
album? A Perfect Circle. What was
Oh,
the name?
Mirror
of
de
it?
Noms.
Mirror de Moms. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I've been listening to that for a while, but I kind of didn't know that they had more than that. I thought that it was like a one-off thing. And I
Oh,
recently
right.
found
like
out.
3 or 4 albums.
Yeah, they just come out with a new one, so I've been listening to all of those recently.
Check
I
out
like it.
Pussifer.
Which one?
Pussifer.
It's another
It's
side.
It's
project
another
of
band
Maynard.
of Maynard's.
Okay. What is it? How would you compare it to those other two? Because I mean,
More experimental, a little more poppy, a little more.
how can you
listened
be
to
more
much.
experimental and more poppy? Poppy is the exact opposite of experimental.
Not necessarily.
Joe would say so. He's always like, they're not doing anything new.
Well,
Well,
so
maybe-
it,
I don't know.
Well, what I would say
It's a little
poppy.
esoteric at this point,
Oh, boy.
I think.
When I say poppy, I mean it appeals to a broader
So it's popular.
audience.
Mm.
So that's
not
that's
popular,
a
but-
dangerous term when you just mean it like that, where it's like people like it.
So
Yeah.
I'm just giving descriptors. So
That's not a descriptor, though. It doesn't explain
it kind of in music, in art, it is sure. So
But
To me, it
I mean,
doesn't really
it-
describe.
it's a little more palatable to a broader audience.
That's yeah.
But what
That's
does it
always hard
mean?
for me to latch on to.
Right,
though.
I
Because
mean,
the second anyone says that, I know I don't want to listen.
because
to
the Beatles were pop music,
They were
but
so
we
good.
we know them as so much more now.
I'd have to listen to it.
Yeah,
you don't know Pussifer.
I know Pussifer. I don't
know
know
you
much. I don't know much.
the
about
name is intriguing me.
it. I know. I've got a tattoo.
It's like
across
Lucifer
my
and
left
Pussy
ass
put
cheek.
together.
or or pacifier, Pussifier.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know how they got to that, but
Yeah, we should. Oh, so maybe
I
it's
drew the
the
connection between
pacification of
yeah.
a Lucifer's pussy.
Yes.
There
There
we
you
go. Close that hell gate.
Ba-dum-bum.
Yes.
Giles.
All right, music. All right, so music. That's right. The thing I want to talk to you about. Today I was sitting outside on my back porch, smoking a cigar, listening to a
What kind of cigar?
$4,000 rig.
Yeah. What kind of cigar was it?
It was actually like a one-off. Olivia did like a thing called Hellion. It was just an experiment. So you have no idea. But anyways, it was pretty good.
Heavy-bodied, spicy.
Yeah, it was pretty heavy. But one of my favorite things was if you just sniff the cigar.
I want a cigar now.
Not even.
He's a cigar man.
Yeah. Not
He
even
really is a cigar
lit.
man.
It
Let's go get some
smells
cigars.
like a
Yeah.
farm. It smells just like a farm. I like
Kind of
that.
like wafting an ass crack.
Yeah, just like a horse's ass.
There's a
This was
really good
Mhm.
cigar shop by the Hy-Vee off of like 67th or something.
Yeah,
What?
Could be.
What?
I buy most of my stuff off of Thompson.co or whatever, Thompson Company.
Buy it online.
Yeah, but I do go to Diebel's a lot. I used to. Not so much anymore.
What were you saying about the music?
So yeah, I was listening to music. I was listening to Other Lives,
Oh yes.
and I was on my phone chatting to somebody
Uh.
while I was sitting out there smoking and listening.
Mhm.
And he's asking me what gear are you listening to, because we're audiophile guys.
Sure.
I'm asking him what gear he's listening to, because we're all like, he's in Florida listening at the same time.
Mhm.
And so then the second question is not what gear, but what music you're listening to.
Oh yeah.
That's how audiophiles
Which album
are.
were you listening to?
Their latest one, Rituals.
Oh, it's a great.
And so I told him that. And
you'd love it.
this guy, I had actually introduced him to Rituals
Uh-huh.
a few months ago, but he wasn't heavy on it.
He wasn't.
He
yeah.
fell asleep to it while on an airplane, and that experience made him think it was crap.
Weird.
But so I was talking to him
Is there a
today.
different outcome to this story? I hope.
Yeah, kind
Okay.
of. Well,
Get to it.
No, I'm just hoping he didn't.
He's like,
think
I'm
the
an
album
Boring
sucked.
me. Get to it.
and so I was talking to him about it. He said
Uh-huh.
it just reminded me of millennial crap, And,
Rituals?
Millennial
I know.
crap.
That was his. Yeah, and
Weird.
I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And so I was talking it up to him, explaining that it's more like Radiohead and Pink Floyd. You know,
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah, it really
millennial.
is.
It's
What
not
a fucking
cheap.
mix.
Yeah.
Well,
It's great
I-
writing.
actually,
And
yeah.
the instruments are
I consider both of
is
those
great.
to be
Who?
kind of
Other Lives. It's
Yeah, Other
on
Lives.
the record player
because
right
you know
now.
it feels experimental. It feels
It doesn't feel like
independent.
anything else.
Yeah,
It
it
feels
feels like
it's all on. It's
progressive rock. You know, it's
Yeah.
something.
it's,
Yeah.
it's progressive. It's not quite rock.
Well,
It's
it's got to be rock, man. How else would you describe it?
I'd say progressive folk. Really,
It's fucking rock.
I think it's rock.
I can't imagine
I
how it would
don't.
be
I
full.
don't. I don't feel like you can have rock without like a rock drum kit and like a rock guitar.
No.
See,
No.
the problem is I don't know what you
Radiohead's
guys are
rock.
talking about.
Yeah, Radiohead's rock.
But they've got all the elements to make.
Pink Floyd's
rock.
rock.
Yeah.
But-
Again,
but Other Lives isn't rock.
I mean, it's a lot of acoustic guitar, a lot of cellos, a lot of violins, a lot of hand drums, like percussive instruments, pianos.
Man, yeah,
I don't
man.
know if it's rock.
You are the music expert, so I might have to defer to you here. But man, I listened to it and I'm like, this is awesome rock.
It's the thing is that at a certain point, genres start to go away.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know that it. I don't know. I can see where it's right there on the cusp. We can't actually play it right now, though, can we? Because we're recording.
It would be a terrible choice, but we could do it.
I'm all about that.
Okay, I figured if I worded it that way, we'd get a result worthy of detention. So, yeah, what do you think about progressive rock? And like, does it have to have that driving beat to be rock, or can it be sort of ethereal?
Yes, no.
Snow? What?
Yes, no.
Oh, yeah.
Snow.
Because I feel like if you think of Pink Floyd, they don't have a lot of driving beats a lot of times. Sometimes they have very ethereal sort of tunes just going around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
This is
Yeah.
very ethereal.
Yeah, but I definitely think it's
But
ethereal. It's
so
operatic
you're about
also.
to ask me to give
Where do you draw the line when something's not rock or becomes rock? That's the question.
Can
It's hard to
God
answer.
create a stone that even he can't lift?
We have no idea if the audience is hearing this or not. I hope the music is kind of coming through. Yeah, that's a good idea. Put your mic right in there. Now direct it a bit more in there, into the cone. There we go. Yeah. That's probably not too loud either. Yeah. Oh, that's a good point.
I still can't figure out the timing of this song.
Yeah, you're probably fucking up on copyrights right now.
Well, these guys are non-copyrighted. They're free for everybody. That's probably not true at all.
Still can't figure it out.
This is Other Lives Rituals album, playing off vinyl and JLB 30 SL 305 speakers.
Driving down I-40 fucking
It's a great album. I like both their albums.
Albums aren't what they used to be.
This one is. This one's not like a song and then another song. It's like an album. It's an experience. It's all like this basically.
There's a band called ISIS. Before ISIS. Kind of the same thing.
All right, let's try not to play it anymore because a lot of this we might actually get cut from whatever platforms we try to post to.
Yeah.
But yeah, God, I love that music.
Man, one of the
I
best
like it.
live shows I've ever seen.
Like,
I liked it.
yeah,
Brah.
ethereal is the good word. I'm glad I came up with it.
A lot of, a lot of really
Ephemeral.
interesting beats.
No. Fuck, Mike.
It's ephemeral. It was
A lot of interesting beats.
atmospheric.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, atmosphere is good.
Good,
Yeah,
really interesting time signatures.
I have no
Which
idea
is-
about that.
See, yeah, I'm so bad with the rhythms, the obscure rhythms that this fucker pulls out.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't understand any of it. I just know it
Well,
sounds good.
well,
All right,
What am I supposed to say?
But-
well,
Since we
I'm a fucking
dedicated-
genius. Well,
explain how good they are, Joe. Explain what's going on.
oh,
Your
God,
deep
how
understanding
good
of
they are?
Your deep
No.
understanding of music. What makes this
yeah.
good?
Well,
Analyze.
Remember, this is your main topic, like how
Yeah.
modern music sucks, but these guys are awesome and things
well,
like that.
the whole noise thing when it comes to compression and then the dynamic sound where they're
Yeah.
boosting sound now.
Yeah.
That's not happening in this. And then there's a lot of things that people don't think about when it comes to tone and the way an instrument sounds,
Yeah.
which can be super generic. Like if you turn on any like 98.9 The Rock, our
Mhm.
local rock station, and you listen to the guy's guitar,
It sounds like it just
You're-
picked off the shelf.
you're never gonna differentiate it between a dozen other songs that are played that day.
Really?
Processed.
Yeah, it's all processed or
That's
compressed, and it's all
And so you-
probably digital. But there's nothing
Oh.
setting it apart in any way. You know?
Now you can.
So
is
it's
it
not the
digital?
actual operator of the instrument. It's not the musician.
It doesn't have to be. Yeah,
You're laying the fault at the producer.
basically.
the production. Yeah.
So you're taking authorship away from the musician.
Well, I don't know what the musician wrote originally. You know what I mean?
Okay, let's assume the band wrote their music.
Yeah. And I have a problem with. Well, they probably didn't do that either, at a certain degree, because the producer has more sway over that.
But we're
than the engineer
we're just
would.
talking about like audio quality. We're talking about
Audio quality. You'd probably be talking about engineer most of the time.
Well, I'm talking about more than.
Who
I'm
engineered
asking you to explain all of it, basically, like what makes
Sure.
this music good as opposed to most
Well,
modern stuff.
You know, it's interesting because that song we listened to, the lyrics were fair weather, turning my mind and eyes to see.
Is
fair
that what the
weather."
lyrics were?
Yeah.
I didn't hear any of those. I was just
Yeah.
being swept away to the sea, actually.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
No, you do.
It-
Come on.
Lyrically, it's pretty interesting.
It is.
It leaves a lot of open ends, I think.
I
to
didn't think
me-
you were much of a lyric guy though.
No, I really am. To me, the best writers actually have a point to be made during their songs. And,
They were trying to say something.
instead of left up to interpretation.
Okay.
A lot of people that you talk to about musical lyrics,
They're just trying to find rhymes.
they're
basically.
trying to find what it means to them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I think most writers,
Well,
whether it be a
It might depend on the writer, right?
That is true.
So if your deepest thought is this bitch left me, and you know what I
That's
mean.
true too. There's not a lot of interpreting happening there, but
right.
I think
My dog died. My truck fucked
right.
up. And,
drinking,
yeah.
Milwaukee Best on the tailgate.
Well, let's
If,
say like
if that's your deepest thought, then that's your
true.
deepest lyric.
there's a writer and a performer called Sia. You probably heard of her. She's huge. She
Maybe.
well, okay.
I think I know the name.
It's like SIA, basically. She got huge by writing songs for major pop stars, like Beyonce and Rihanna. And,
Yeah.
the way she wrote songs was she would come up with a strong title for a song, like Chandelier.
Okay.
And then all of her lyrics would just sort of try to hammer home that that
It's a
metaphor,
metaphor,
of everything
yeah.
swinging from chandeliers and all that stuff.
Do you like
And
that
she-
approach?
I
Well,
don't.
I'm saying it's valuable, and it produces catchy songs, but it doesn't have anything to say.
Right.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the reason it has value is that every listener can find their own meaning in it,
Right.
and it can mean something strong to
That's
them. And
That's
have
the problem with modern, postmodern.
yeah.
My favorite thing
art.
But I
about
also agree with what
writing
you're saying.
is when I listen to a song for 2 years and all of a sudden, the last time I listened to it, I feel like I know what the writer was trying to say.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
So I can listen to this album that I've had for a couple of years and never feel like I've come to terms with exactly what he was writing.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden there's this moment where it's like, okay, I think I know,
But you never really do.
But you never really do. But you
never do
hope
know.
that he's writing from a very specific perspective. And it's not just, whatever the hell I want it to be, because it feels good.
But one of your favorite
what I mean?
bands, the Beatles, they were renowned for putting mostly a lot of gibberish in there just because it rhymed and sounded good.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a lot of meaning there.
And the great part about them was their use of chords.
Yeah.
And how I always go back to the diatonic and non-diatonic thing.
I love those terms.
Yeah, I do too. But they would always change keys, and they would modulate back from like major or minor, or use chords that don't really go in a major scale, and somehow put them together and make them work really
And
well.
they were British.
And that helped.
That really
That
did.
always
The
helps.
hair.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they were a little darker, That's where that amp's from. That's a British amp. George played one of those. And there he is.
Oh
Over
God!
there.
This whole room is Crow's Nest Studios is an icon for
The
the Beatles.
The Fab.
Yeah, a shrine basically.
Shrine, yeah. There you go.
So I think what I like most about that record is it has all the things I mentioned. It has metaphorical writing, but I feel like most of it's from the writer's perspective and how I'm supposed to really get into what he's talking about. And it has all the musicality to it as well.
You
It
know
does
what
have
every
musicality.
Beatles song is about?
Pussy.
Breaking up with pussy. Losing pussy
holding
or
hands
get,
with
pussy.
losing or getting pussy.
Well,
Yeah,
Yeah.
They never had a problem with any of that.
Well, at some point they did.
well, and
That's true, maybe at
Lucy's
some
in the
point.
Sky with Diamonds and Yellow Submarines. But
Well, they did drugs sometimes too.
Yeah.
But all right, so going through a breakup, right? Listening to the Beatles makes me so happy and so sad at the same time. It's
know.
awful.
are you going through a breakup right now?
I am.
Explain.
I'm
I
sorry,
don't want
Pete.
Tell me all about it.
Fuck off.
Oh, okay. Does it? All right. Yeah. I was about to be. Yeah, never mind.
You're fine.
All right. Oh, we're running dry here.
Gotta do
What's
something
going
here.
Pizza, pizza, pizza.
Pizza should be coming soon.
on? Yeah, this will be. We will be eating on mic.
You want to talk
Just
about
smacking our
a
lips.
breakup?
Absolutely.
All right.
Yes.
Go.
Oh, my breakup.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, all right. Sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Hanging out with this girl a lot.
Right.
Seemed close.
Yeah.
She liked all my foibles.
Yeah. She like your dick?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Ooh.
Then one day,
She didn't.
one day, she wouldn't. I couldn't.
She wouldn't.
Okay.
I couldn't. I couldn't talk to her. Like she just pretended like, well, we don't talk every day, but we did. It's like, why? I'm talking to these people right now. Why are you talking to me? And I couldn't get through to her. Like I couldn't have a conversation with her. I couldn't say like, well, what's going on? Why? It was just like, we don't have a relationship. We don't. I'm hanging out with these people now, and it was like that. And I just said, all right, well, I guess that's that.
How long did you consider yourself in a relationship with this chick?
Oh, just a few weeks.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean,
Short
it
term.
wasn't a terrible
All right,
long
yeah.
time.
Okay.
But it was. But before you think, well, you're just reading too much into it. She contacted me years later and was like, "I am so sorry about how I treated that whole situation."
Oh, she was in AA.
Maybe but she's like, I was kind of like falling for somebody else, and I didn't know how to deal with what we had, and so I just pretended. And it was like,
Yeah. That's
So-
not cool.
No,
and,
it wasn't- it was a terrible
probably
idea.
much younger too.
yeah, we were all like late teens kind of thing.
Yeah.
But man, that was that feeling. That was the feeling. That hurts.
Yeah, God, that hurts.
Was that your one and only?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
Ever
I don't know
since
why
then,
you're not out there, man.
I kill every woman I meet after that.
Like literally, like in your basement?
Yeah.
Wow.
Everyone that sort of shows interest, I just kill them.
Well, that's a good idea.
It stops the pain.
It
So does that.
prevents the pain.
Yeah, that's right. It prevents the pain.
Yeah.
And it gives you an outlet for past pain.
Yeah,
You
I
can
get that. I
inflict
get that.
your punishments.
I mean, can you?
Absolutely, you can. So, how's work going for you right now?
Work's awful.
Explain.
I'm in the service industry, and I don't want to be.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Well,
Starving artist, right?
what's the service? What industry? I mean, what are you serving?
Food.
Just be honest.
Food.
Just be honest.
Food.
What kind of food? What restaurant are you working for? Are you a caterer?
I'm not going to give specifics on.
Yeah, but is it like a one in the world?
I mean,
restaurant?
it's fine dining.
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
dining.
yeah.
So, are you like table waiting?
And hosting, yeah, and bartending and bar packing, and
So
it's a small staff for a small restaurant.
cool. I mean, not cool, but cool.
Right.
So, how's it? I mean, you just hate it. It's not your thing.
It's definitely not my thing. I'll kick ass at it. I mean, it
Good.
might be my thing, but I don't want it to be my thing. You know
I'm
what I
kind
mean?
of in the same place,
Right? Like, I'm very talented at the service industry
Yeah.
deal.
Well, that's good, man.
It's not good because
Well,
I don't want that to be my thing. It's not lucrative, and
no.
yeah, I can't support anybody besides myself on it for
No.
sure.
I'm working in the electronics field, and I have a talent for it. I actually went to school for it just to get the basic, associate's degree. Basically, I was sitting in my parents' basement, and my father's like,
You snowflake.
"You've got to how about you go to a school?"
You get your ass up.
Basically, yeah. So it's like, I just was like, all right, fine, why not? Everything else kind of failed. So I was all right. So I went to school, got an electronics degree, and that's what I do. But I'm the same with you. It's like that's not where my heart lies. That's not where my passion lies. And in a very real way, it takes up so much of my fucking time because it's a full-time job that I can't.
See, what if all our needs?
Yeah. Dude, that system would benefit me because
Yes.
when I was
You know
unemployed,
who would not benefit?
I wrote a novel when I was unemployed. But
Right.
since I've been employed
Exactly.
full time,
Exactly.
I don't have time.
Exactly.
I hate it.
Right. You know who would not benefit? The
I
people
don't know.
who are rich right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Because they wouldn't be getting any. It wouldn't help them anymore.
Right.
I'm all there, man. Like my personal life would be so much better.
French Revolution.
Yeah.
Behead them all.
Oh. Bad things.
It's coming, dude.
So yeah,
I think it's coming.
My passions. You saw graphic design, but that's not my passions. My passions is writing.
I saw no graph.
Yeah. No, honestly, I had to learn Illustrator to do that logo, so it's obviously not something that I do. But writing, that's
I'll
kind of
do it for free. Let me do it.
No.
What are you talking
No,
about,
I'm
man?
an artist, man. I can't let another artist touch my dick.
That's bullshit,
Yeah,
dude.
I know, but that's the way it is.
You know that's bullshit.
How is that bullshit?
Because you aren't the expert in it.
No, but I am the artist, and what if
So?
what if I were to say I'm going to do your logo?
Then paint your logo.
I just did, man. I painted it.
You didn't paint it.
I painted it in Illustrator.
You did not.
Dude, you should see it. The actual Illustrator file, it's immaculate.
Yeah.
I learned so many things to make that actually all work in those
I
letters.
get that. I get the effort into it.
It works.
The logo doesn't work.
No, I know. It's great. I'll figure it out or not. But so we're in the same boat in that way. Doing jobs that we can do and do well, but that so does not fulfill us.
So,
Joe is
well,
in the same
not
place.
only doesn't fulfill us, but we don't thrive.
Exactly. Yeah.
right? So
We don't see long.
where's my
careers
yacht?
there. Yeah. It's not going
Right?
to reach there.
If I work 50 hours a week,
Are you
Where's
working
my
50
fucking-
hours a week?
I'm not,
Okay, 'cause
but
I'm
I
just
will
doing-
be in a week.
God.
So, yeah.
40 hours, man. That's already too much. That's way too much.
Why do we have to work at all?
I look at Germany. They do 5 hours a day, and that's considered a full day. And I could do that. I could.
Why do
fulfill.
we have to work at all?
Uh,
Why?
Well,
Why? Okay, so if you micro level society down to like a family,
yeah.
right? So I'm a big fan of like micro macroing, like taking large scale, small scale of analogies of things. So if you look at society as like a family, if all 7 billion people were a family, if we've been working this long to advance ourselves, when do we get to retire?
As a society?
Yes.
Okay.
Right? So we've worked this long to get us to this point. Why don't we get to retire? Why don't our offspring get to benefit from the fruit of our labor?
Because I don't think we're at retirement age yet.
Okay.
Because it's if with the analogy of working till you're, let's say, 65 or 55.
Right.
I don't think we're there yet. We don't have this. We don't have the infrastructure in place to just let everybody live in utopia.
Okay. Yeah, I got you.
But maybe someday.
But why aren't we working towards that? We're not even working towards
No,
that.
we're not.
It's like,
We're in a cycle.
well, we've talked about this all night. Like you need to find the value of your labor.
Yeah.
And if you don't have value of your labor, then you're useless.
I look at like what I'm doing is like I would have to. It's almost like I have to make a really good living in what I'm doing. I almost have to become an engineer of some kind.
Yes.
With massive debt and schooling. But I look at Joe and what Joe's doing. He's going to be making so much more than me, and just constantly. I know, and this is all manual labor and just.
Getting 20 an hour. She's getting 20 an
Jeez.
hour. Where's this?
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah,
I don't know how he's doing it.
but that's speaking of value of your labor. I mean, what he's doing is going to provide so much more than what I'm doing, and it's almost ridiculous because he's just learning expertise without schooling. He's learning actual expertise that will allow him
A skill.
a skill set, a really good and important skill set.
But is audio engineering or fine arts or visual communications any less of a skill than whatever he does?
I don't know. I don't know.
So, like, how are we less valuable than him?
I think that it's got to be the most basic determination of value, and that is rarity. What we do seems to be anybody can just sort of take a little bit of schooling and say they're electronics
But do it
technician. Well, what I'm doing, a monkey could do. Like all they have to have is the degree.
What I'm doing, a monkey cannot do.
Exactly,
But a monkey will get paid for doing.
yeah. So that's I think what it is. Like if you learn a skill in the trade and you're really good at it, you're going to be valued more than the ones who don't.
So how
gonna
do we
get
get
management
past
position.
the idea of just trading our talent, our labor for
Dude, that is
Our-
just tilted on the edge there.
our means of living? Like, why is that a thing?
I'm sorry, I missed that.
Why is it a thing that we have to trade our skills / labor for living.
Ah.
Why? Like, yeah, you want to invest a certain amount of effort into your survival.
Well, it's participating with everybody else, basically. Because the guy who's making the food that we eat is doing that.
What if it's automated?
It's not, though. And we can try to automate it, but it's going to be a long time before that's actually working properly. You know, we have so many automations in the food industry, but it's still not capable of doing it all.
So then it's a value system. So, why aren't you giving away your labor for free?
Me?
Yeah.
I would starve to death.
Right.
Yeah.
Why doesn't everybody give away their labor for free?
They would starve to death.
Yeah. Pizza? Oh,
Awesome.
fuck.
Stop the recording.
No. I'm no mathematician. Like, I am shitty at math. But I feel like I understand the broad strokes of it enough that...
We're recording. Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna close out here.
We live in a simulated reality.
Yeah, we were arguing after pizza.
I think it's a lucid dream.
Yeah. You know, I've never actually had a lucid dream.
That is a simulated reality.
Yeah, it is. That proves you completely.
Okay.
There we
Terrific.
are. Lucid dreams prove it completely. We are in a simulated reality. If you woke up from a lucid dream, you can't guarantee that you weren't dreaming.
The thing is,
Can you really guarantee that I am there? I think, therefore I am. Is that really a guarantee of consciousness?
It's just a really cool piece of poetry and philosophy.
It's not, though. I mean, that was canon for. It's canon now. Like that is posited as the one proof that something exists.
Yeah.
Something, and all you can prove is that you, not you and you, is from my perception. But I know I exist because I am thinking these words, that I am perceiving you in, that is the only proof that something, that consciousness itself exists. I think, therefore I am.
Mm-hmm. Therefore I must be.
Yeah.
Is the only proof that something exists.
Well, I agree with you that the idea of simulation definitely means we have to investigate that and maybe even discredit it. Because... the ideas behind it do allow for a simulation of somebody thinking, and therefore they aren't, you know?
And also the other problem is any evidence that you find against it can be simulated.
Sure.
Oh, God. What a fucking paradigm that is!
It is. It's the computer covering its tracks as you're, like, hunting it down, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the interesting thing about my dream I had last week...
Yeah.
What was it about?
It was a lucid dream, and I'd never had one. You know,
lactating? I always lactate.
Every time it's my turn to talk, it turns into a bodily function.
Well, you wake up a little sticky, a little sweaty.
Oh, that's his nose on the mic.
See that?
I'm gonna cut that.
You don't want to hear about my dream.
Yeah, we do.
We'll talk about it some other
All right.
time.
We do.
Do you have a point then of the lucid?
Well, I did, but we don't need to.
Oh,
go
come
into it.
on, man.
No. That ship has sailed.
Come on.
Oh. Well, we could sink.
You've got to go back to Midtown.
Okay.
Jeez. All right. Well, that's it for this episode of Strum and Scribe.
Woo!
Maybe you heard a French woman. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you heard music playing. Maybe you didn't. There's no telling.
A cat in a dump truck.
Hammered into cold winter shit. Goodbye.